Welcome back to the Superhero Rewind Commentary Project. Sorry for a bit of delay, but we are back finally. We didn't have any internet last week, so we had to put this off a week, which meant that unfortunately I had to watch this film a second time in preparation for this. Tonight we're doing the 2011 Ryan Reynolds film Green Lantern, DC's first attempt at the first movie that actually released their first attempt at a shared universe. It's technically already the second because Justice League Mortal got far enough into pre-production that this was kind of the thing that ultimately ended up supplanting that. And now we've had two more shared universe, like actual shared universes since then. Crazy. DC reboots a lot.
They keep having a crisis of quality.
That is true. But I've got Austin, my sidekick, as always. Thanks for being here, Austin, and apologies that you finally had to subject yourself to this. Austin had never seen Green Lantern.
No, I avoided it for years because everybody hates it. So I was like, why would I go out of my way to watch it? And at the time, I don't think I saw any superhero film that year. Like, I didn't see First Avenger. I didn't see Thor. I didn't see this. So
wow. It's the year he took off.
Exactly.
Although, how old were you in 2011?
That's when I started high school, so 14.
And were you already watching our channel, or do you find us after that?
No, I find you guys in 2009.
Oh, that early? Okay.
Really?
I think I knew that. Like, we probably talked about this, but yeah. So that makes Austin one of the like OG 16 or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, because literally I like get on YouTube and I'm like, oh, there's this thing called Geekvolution and there's this thing called Blows Himself Up Dude. I like these things. I'll watch them. Oh my god, it's interconnected. This is crazy.
See, we got a shared universe going before DC did even. It was fantastic.
Exactly.
We've also got my son Jason.
Hi.
Because Jason likes Green Lantern and I wanted to watch this with me. And then saw it and then questioned whether or not he was actually going to be on the commentary after all. But he is here.
I am here.
Begrudgingly. Now, you had seen this as a kid. But far enough ago that you weren't sure if you'd still, like, how you'd feel about it.
Yeah, I remember it being, the only thing I remember about it was it was weirdly comic accurate, but it didn't look good, so it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
And that is still true. But that was the only thing that I remember.
Nightmare's Room in the comments asks if we're going to watch theatrical or extended. I can be honest with you, I guess I didn't do enough due diligence to realize this had an extended cut. Were you aware of that?
I vaguely knew that this had an extended cut, but I figured the theatrical cut was kind of just the main thing readily available.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't have done a commentary on it extended because it probably isn't as streamable and very few people, I'm sure, have bought it. But I would have liked to have looked at it and seen what the extra footage was. I bet it's not much longer. I bet it's not that changed. But somebody let me know in the comments just how different it is, because it's probably like an Electra situation or something where there's just more of the same, and it's, you know, not like a better cut or anything.
Yeah, definitely.
But I had no idea
I can
about that.
Yeah.
Oh,
no, I
Max,
can summarize.
He says Max. He says has both versions.
Oh.
Oh, we could have just streamed this on Max. I wasn't even thinking about that because I have not been subscribed to Max lately, and I've resubscribed so that we could watch and review the pilot for the Lanterns TV show, among some other things that are coming up. So actually, I currently have a subscription to that.
Don't you only have it with ads though?
We could have done it that way. Oh, you're right. Right now, I do have an ad version, so that wouldn't have worked anyway. Okay, anyway. That was not interesting.
Oh, there you go.
And if we were editing this show, I would edit that part out.
Yeah, but it's more entertaining than this movie, so
the bar is gonna be real low.
Yeah.
I honestly, this is one of those, we can relax. We can't screw this up.
No.
I don't
No,
think.
because anything we screw up will be better than this movie, so, you know.
We're already giving away our feelings, but I don't think anybody's going to be all that surprised. And I reviewed this years ago. I've got a scripted review of this. I think I gave it... I'm not sure. I have to go back and look.
Did that exist yet?
I don't know. Okay, so it wasn't how we felt about yet. Oh. But we did review a lot of new superhero movies, at least when they first came out. But we didn't always do everything the first couple of years. And so this is in that kind of weird period where I'm starting to transition more into I'm going to do everything when it comes out. So I don't know if we have a review of this or not from right when it came out. I'd have to go look. But I think I gave the original. I'm sorry. I think on the old Rewind, the original Rewind, I gave it like a 1.5 out of 4. And
then CJ Anime Fan says that this is your second commentary on this movie.
Yes, I have done a commentary on this before. Was that a Duke commentary?
Yeah.
Because he and I were intentionally going through, disliked superhero movies. I don't want to say, flat out bad, because there were a couple in there that are fun to me. Like, I'm not on the same high that Austin is on Howard the Duck, but I mean, like, I enjoy that more than a lot of these things. Like, I like watching that movie. In a way I don't with this or Fantastic Four. But yeah, so we did maligned movies.
Mm-hmm. Like, did you do Daredevil?
No, Daredevil's not maligned in the same way as a lot of these, and it performed. That's the thing, is we weren't doing things that did well.
Okay.
They also, I think exclusively. Sorry, we'll get into the movie in a minute. I think exclusively they were not just critically poorly received, but also bombed at the box office. So
we're killing time because we don't want to watch this movie. Because I hear Daredevil, I hear Daredevil and Ghost Rider on disliked lists all the time, and I'm like, I don't understand that, but because like they're not as good as other superhero movies, but
yeah, there's a lot of people.
I
really dislike that movie, but we talk about this all the time. It's also the theatrical versus director's cut thing, and
sure.
that would change people's mind a little bit probably if they saw it. But we're gonna say, Austin.
I was going to say I can summarize this entire review in I'm watching this on Crave, and underneath it when it says if you like this movie you will also like obviously you have lanterns because Green Lantern, you have the Green Knight because green, I guess, and then Highlander 2 The Quickening, like one of the most infamously bad movies of all time. I think it's very amusing.
It's on brand.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, if you like this, you'll probably also like Highlander 2.
They might as well say, if you like this, you have no taste.
Pretty much.
And that's no offense to the couple people in the comments that are saying this movie isn't that bad. I know there's that crowd that says that. Some of that is the comic accuracy thing, where there is quite a bit of this that is technically pretty accurate to the comics. It's more of a concept over execution problem. And we'll talk.
No, I mean, I'll throw out. This is not the worst superhero film ever made, but it's not good.
The question.
We'll talk about it.
The question we'll have to talk about at the end is it the worst that we've done on this show so far?
No.
No.
It's not even the worst Ryan Reynolds film.
Oh, goodness.
I don't mean superhero. I just mean in general. Like, it's not one of his worst movies.
Well, yeah, but did you miss what I said? I said, is it going to be, when we talk about the ranking at the end, is it going to be the worst of the ones we've done on this show?
Oh yeah, no, I know, and I said that it's not.
It's not, okay. Well,
it might be for you guys.
We'll see how we feel about it on this viewing. I at the moment, I've got it pretty close to the bottom, but.
Well, close and the bottom are different. Like, mine's probably close to the bottom. I don't remember offhand, but I know it's not last.
Anyway, well, if you want to watch it with us, and we encourage you to do that so you can get some context and follow what we're talking about, get it to timestamp 0, however you're going to watch it. Like we said, it is on Max right now. These days, with a lot of these streaming services, you kind of have to pay an arm and a leg to get your streaming without ads. I have turned on streaming pretty hard. I've got very few services at this point, and we've been buying up a lot of physical media. But if you're still doing it that way, it's on Max. Otherwise, DVD, Blu-ray, however you want to watch it, get it to timestamp 0, and get ready to press play when I say now. Give me just a second. I'm tangled up here. Goodness. All right, let's just jump into the deep end. Are you guys ready?
Nope.
Everybody into the pool. Here we go. Everybody, please press play right now. Look, everybody, it's green.
Wow.
And this is not the only time that you have a green Warner Brothers logo like that, although that's got space in the background. But, you know, The Matrix did the same thing. It's like, oh, it's green because it's The Matrix.
That's true. I was like, what are you talking about?
Now it's green because lanterns.
No, Green Lanterns. That's different.
That bit where Taika Waititi, when he sees Hal turn into Green Lantern for the first time, and he goes, no, he just says green.
Oh yeah, green.
Like, that's supposed to be hilarious.
It's green.
It's not.
So there are good movies that open with voiceover.
Yeah.
But almost any movie that starts the way this movie does is like an instant, oh, okay, I'm settling into the seat.
Yeah.
I know what I'm in for.
Well, it screams formulaic.
Yeah.
And generic and kind of cheap. And you're right. There are movies that will then subvert your expectations and work out okay. But, you know, sort of like, and what I'm about to mention is a better movie overall, but like it opens like TMNT does. Except that movie opens with Lawrence Fishburne talking for no reason, and this is at least a character in the film.
Yeah, but this isn't Lawrence Fishburne, so it's worse.
This also kind of looks like if you had a Green Lantern game and you didn't press start right away.
This is that's
like
the entire movie, Austin.
Well, and from the very beginning...
No, I know, but I'm not saying it looks like a cutscene. I'm saying it looks like you didn't hit start, so it just started playing like a little video about this is what Green Lantern is.
This bit on Riot kind of looks cutscene-y. Didn't you say when we were watching this that this bit reminded you of, like, PC games from the 90s?
Yeah. No, this movie is, like, about as good as, like, the first Halo or Quake 4. It's, like, about on that level.
Right away, we're, with that voiceover, to your point, Austin, we're kind of setting what I feel is a very TV kind of tone with this. Because that also feels, like you said, video game, it also feels like the way a pilot would open. And then you look at the CW shows, and they all do that.
Yeah.
And so you're seeing a lot of the hallmarks of... Berlanti and those guys just a couple of years before they get to the CW and they start the Arrowverse. And that's the team that writes this. And it's really interesting the way they kind of failed upwards, because this was, again, supposed to be the start of a shared universe. I think this was kind of expected to do at least decently well. Like, they had a huge merchandising campaign behind this. And a big advertising campaign. They were hoping that it would be the start of a bunch of DC movies in the same continuity. And then when that failed, they gave those guys Arrow, which ironically turns into a long-running DC shared universe on television. And so they got what they wanted in the first place.
Now, did they start with Arrow?
Yeah.
Like, because Arrow, I know, starts before this.
No, it starts after this.
Does it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it starts the year after.
The year
That's
after.
2012.
Yeah, I said a couple years. It's the very next year.
Wow.
I think, or is it 13? I think it's...
Oh, maybe. I thought it was September of 2012, but maybe it's 2013.
No, it was... I'm pretty sure it was just after... Well, I'll have to look it up. Sorry, it's been so long now. Because either way you slice it, it's after Rises. So it might have been like the very next month after Rises.
Yeah, no, exactly.
No, it's 12. It is. It's right after Rises.
Okay.
No, and that's why that...
I thought so, but then I also didn't watch it at the time, so I could be wrong.
I was really second-guessing myself for a second, yeah. That's also why... partly why the overarching plot for that first season was so odd, because it was the rumored villain plot of Rises that turned out not to be the case with the earthquake machine, and then Arrow comes out and it's an earthquake machine. So they it's like they were plotting by Reddit before anything else was.
This guy isn't real.
It's hilarious.
Yeah,
so that's, of course, immediately the first big strike against it for people even before it came out, when they were looking at trailers, which is, oh no, it looks like a horrid CG fest. And this is in 2011. This is 15 years ago. By the way, we're doing this on the 15th anniversary of Green Lantern. We hit an anniversary year, you guys, on a not great movie. Anyway, and so people were already like really kind of worried going in, where it's like just the approach felt wrong.
Yeah.
Where it's like, okay, it looks like heads kind of floating on CG bodies, and these real people don't feel like they're really there, and not even in a Star Wars prequel kind of way, where especially Attack of the Clones has that problem, where everything's shot on a green screen, and so it feels like you have a lot of characters that aren't really with everything else that's there. These characters don't even look like their heads belong to their bodies some of the time.
Dude, the way he landed and went like, huh, huh. Man.
No, my big thing with this, and it was something I kind of assumed going, like before I went into it, because I love Martin Campbell. He was like the man back in the day.
Yeah.
I would not have hired him to make like a fully CGI movie like this, but then when I looked into it, because this comes out right after Jonah Hex, and I feel like if you swapped those directors, we would have been in like a way better world, because Martin Campbell, who did this, would have made a killer Jonah Hex movie, and the guy who made Jonah Hex, I don't know if he would have made a good Green Lantern movie, but he was predominantly an animator, and I feel like that would have led to being able to make this a little easier. Because Martin Campbell's the guy you get for like really cool like on-set stunts.
I don't know why he agreed to do this project, and it kind of sounds like the way he's talked about it retroactively, he's not sure why he did either. Like it was very much. I don't want to be disingenuous and say just a paycheck. Like he might have thought there was something cool he could have done with this, but like they came to him and he said yes, and he kind of regretted it. It sounds like pretty quickly, because the problem, you're in trouble as soon as your director says, I don't really like comic books and comic book movies, and his approach, instead of trying to like lean into another genre that lends itself really well to this material, but isn't trying to be a quote-unquote superhero movie. His approach instead was try to be a workman director and make it like other superhero movies. And so, like, to his credit, he was trying to not like be too cool for school and make one of these movies. He was like, let's see if I can do that. You know, it sounded like he wanted to try to be one of those directors that can make every kind of thing. And if only he had taken the Zorro approach and kind of picked a lane outside of comics. Now, you wouldn't want him, of course, to have no reference for the material and be like, Green Lantern's lame, so we've got to try to like get as far away from this concept as possible. But he doesn't look at Zorro as a superhero movie, and it absolutely is one. He just knew how to tell a good story within that material, and he had reference for all of the other trappings of it. And so if he could have found some kind of, and he doesn't seem like a big sci-fi guy, but if he could have found like a sci-fi epic in, or if he could have found like the Top Gun in, which the opening is kind of doing, but it feels like a really cheap ripoff of Top Gun, and there's some of that baked into Hal Jordan's character and the DNA of this material in the first place, of course, that you're just kind of going to inherit if you do the pilot, the Air Force stuff at all, but it doesn't feel like it even has a whole lot of reverence for that material. It feels like it's just kind of going through the motions. And so it's just, he could have come in and made Top Gun, but it's Green Lantern, and that could have been great.
Yeah, and it's a shame because this kind of killed his career. Like, he's still directing, but he will never direct like a huge movie again. He gets the kind of geezer teaser Liam Neeson thrillers now.
And that's not fair, because especially when the guys that wrote this are the real culprits, in my opinion, and they went on and had like very lucrative careers. That ain't right. And with this kind of stuff, again, kind of failed upwards. Now, don't get me wrong, there's stuff in the Arrowverse I like. I was very invested in some of that material for a long time, but like, he's not really the reason this doesn't work. I mean, like, he doesn't help because the visuals are not great, and it doesn't feel like there's really a take visually. Like, it's very uninspired even in the directing. So he's phoning this in as much as everything else did. But if somebody had come in and had a real vision for this, but they're still saddled with this script, the movie still sucks. It'd be a little better, but
that's why everything about this movie sucks.
It wasn't going to perform. Like, if they flip directors and the Jonah Hex guy made this, it doesn't make $1 more than the film they made.
No, I was just thinking, like, I think the effects work would be a little bit better.
You're right.
But,
I think it would be a better movie.
It is 100% more.
And I don't
Jonah Hex would probably be a great movie, whereas this could maybe be a little better.
Absolutely.
Talking about this scene, I don't know why. I wish that the airplane stuff wasn't CGI, and I know that everything in this movie is CGI, but even that, like,
it takes you out as hard as all the Green Lantern stuff does. Now, to be fair, they're doing these like experimental drone planes that if it wasn't CG, they would have to build. And so I don't know if you could, like, you'd have to either do model work or like they wouldn't build real ones. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's not a real airplane. So like that, I'm just trying to be fair to it. If you did that, it's not going to be as much of the Top Gun
CGI
thing.
better. I don't know.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I'm not taking up for it.
Yeah, totally. He's dead.
No, and this is just straight up Iron Man. It is the you fix the icing problem.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about that for a minute, because one of the reasons this was critically maligned is because people felt like it was just ripping off Iron Man and trying to like piggyback off of that early MCU success. And I was wondering if that was a criticism that you agreed with, Austin, that they tried to approach it, trying to make it feel too much like that with Hal Jordan's characterization in, because I mean, they're not the same character, but the attitude seems a little bit similar in like, okay, we need somebody that's like the real charismatic and narcissistic and who is kind of full of himself and into himself, and like that is kind of Hal Jordan, but
yeah, it is hard to say because like it is, and like for example, that's what it is in Lanterns as well, and it also worked. Like I think it works a lot better there. Ryan Reynolds wasn't the guy to play Hal.
No. Well, that's the thing is he's as miscast as the director.
Ryan Reynolds is like one of the that's the thing is like I'm gonna talk about the CG and the writing a lot. I feel like we all are during this commentary. But...
And RJ Godzilla says, sorry, but the special effects are not the problem with this movie, and I respectfully disagree and will say, I mean, it's one of them.
I think it's one of them, yeah.
If the script was great, but it looks the way it looks, I'm going to look past it more. I mean, obviously that matters more.
So I'm going to throw out, especially when we get to Oa, it reminds me a lot of the first Thor movie, where when we go to the Frost Giant world, it's really ugly and I think kind of hard to look at.
Yeah.
But Thor at least has, like, Asgard looks really nice. It's just this one section looks very rough. And I think it's unfortunate that that's kind of all you get in this. We're like, that's supposed to be like the Asgard, like really nice looking moments, and it just looks wonky.
And we don't spend a lot of time there.
Which I'm fine with. Like, I don't think that's necessarily an issue. But and if anything, since I don't think it looks very good, we maybe should have spent less time there.
Well, I think I agree with that. I don't think it's the same. And then, sorry, we'll get back to what you were going to say.
Yeah.
It's not the same problem, and I've heard people throw this at it, that it is that Thor problem. Don't these come out the same year, too? Yeah, that it's that Thor problem where we spend too much time on Earth and not enough time on Asgard. You need more of that with Thor. You don't necessarily with this. Again, it could have been Top Gun with space. Honestly, we could have never gone to Oa, and this movie really could have worked. And as I've always said with Green Lantern, I prefer the core stuff. I prefer going out into space. If you want to do an origin thing, you could absolutely do a totally Earth-based Green Lantern movie where he uses his newfound powers to save the Earth from something extraterrestrial on the Earth, and then do a sequel that goes to space. And that could have been neat. That could have been the direction to take that. But the only reason that I complain that we don't spend any more time on Oa is because we introduce the audience to several Green Lanterns and they get nothing to do, and they just kind of show up and like say a couple of things and that's it. And some of the only stuff that I kind of like in this movie is casting of Green Lanterns, and then they don't get to do anything. So like I think the Sinestro guy is pretty good. And I think Tomar Ray
is a good choice.
And I think Tomar Ray is fine. And Kilowog's voice is good.
No, I had a real moment of like, oh, I forgot Michael Clark Duncan was still like around at this point. Like I didn't know he was in this movie because I don't remember exactly when he passes. But
I think it was maybe a couple years after that.
Okay.
I can look that up. No, I distinctly remember that casting happening like not too long before the movie went to the theater. And I had this realization that, oh yeah, you don't actually have to cast the voice until the movie's made.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But no, like Mark Strong is a really good choice for Sinestro, I think. He's just kind of here.
I've got huge issues with the ending with the yellow ring and everything. We'll talk about that. But but before that, he's got all the strongest stuff. And even his material is more palatable than a lot of the rest of it until you get to the third act. So I'm sorry, what did you want to talk about?
Well, not only is the and I think I do agree with that, with like a lot of the Green Lantern casting is alright. But besides Hal. But like not only is the CG bad, and not only is the writing worse, like Ryan Reynolds is just really, really miscast, and that doesn't help at all. And like sometimes it'll be like, you know, this is a bad movie, but at least like the actors are trying, you know. And like I know that Ryan Reynolds can be a good actor, but he's just he's not even trying in this. I don't know. He doesn't care. And
well, I think what it is just Ryan Reynolds is only good at playing Van Wilder. It's like the only thing he can do, which is why he can work as Deadpool, because it's like that is what Deadpool is essentially. It doesn't work with Hal Jordan.
He feels really frustrated to me through this entire movie. Like he's just being dragged along. Where what he really wants to do, like you're saying, Austin, is the Deadpool thing. And in fact, because there are a few like kind of sarcastic, snide comments he makes here and there where he's trying to insert that brand of humor. Like there are places where I'm pretty sure it's not scripted and it's Ryan Reynolds getting a line in, because there are a few lines that are like so his brand. There's no way Berlanti and those guys wrote it. Like there's that bit where they dress him down. We talked over it for showing up the drone planes, and the guy that's gonna attack him later says, "Watch your back," and he says, "That's impossible." No way that was scripted. That's a Ryan Reynolds line. And so that's what he really wants to do. And in fact, he took this part because Fox wouldn't make a Deadpool movie. Like even then, just after Origins, he was trying really hard to get them to greenlight that, and they wouldn't do it. And so now he's got to find another project. And so he settles for Green Lantern.
Mm-hmm.
By the way,
also, with the Iron Man thing, if this were successful, the next movie would be him and Jon Stewart, just like War Machine. It would have been your Iron Man 2.
Is that conjecture, or did they say that that's where they were going?
No, that's just what I've always thought.
You're probably right.
I always thought
what
they would have done.
Yeah. Also, we're already 20 minutes in.
Yeah. Well, I think... See, when I'm watching it, I'm like, how have I been watching this 20 minutes? But we're talking over it.
Yeah.
No, Austin, Sinestro at the very end, I should have picked up that yellow ring, and instead of putting it on, just said, "Next time, baby," and then put it down and walked away.
That would have made more sense than he pulls his Green Lantern ring off and he's still a Green Lantern, puts the yellow ring on, and now he's a Yellow Lantern.
I kind of don't think anything about that makes sense. We can talk about it more later, but I mean, like, he's been pretty much proven wrong that they even needed the yellow ring, but he's going to put it on anyway just because he's supposed to... That's what he's supposed to wear. He's supposed to, the Sinestro Corps. Like, there's not really anything in the film that suggests that he would be duplicitous like that at that point. I'm not even sure why he's so insistent. I guess I'm talking about this now. I'm not even sure why he is so insistent that, the yellow ring, the fear, is the answer. Like, we could have had a good discussion about it, and he could have elaborated on it. But like the obvious argument against his insistence that, well, we're gonna get defeated this time, even with all of our numbers, we can't beat Parallax, is okay, but the yellow ring, not the ring, but like the yellow part of the spectrum, the fear, corrupted this what do you call it? The big head guys.
The Guardians.
The Guardians, thank you. And how, like, that's going to happen to you too. Like how can you stop that? They don't even have that conversation. The Guardians just build one.
No, and I think Sinestro should be in this a little bit more. Like, I feel like his role done better is probably Mordo and Doctor Strange. But I also think there's one of two ways you can play it.
I'm right there with you.
You either do the Mordo thing, and obviously that comes later, but like that is one of the ways you can play it, or you do like a Training Day where like he's in it more like with Mordo, but he ends up being the bad guy at the end. So you get that twist in the movie. Mm-hmm. It's one or the other. I feel like you kind of need that.
Dirkby says maybe it's as simple as using your enemy's power against them. Yeah, of course, but we need to have a conversation about how just piling on the same mistake over and over again is just as dangerous, or maybe more so, as going up against an enemy you're pretty sure you're going to lose against. And then, of course, the whole thing's kind of a moot argument by the end because, Hal Jordan wins too easily by himself against a thing that we're told there's no possible way the entire Corps could fight.
And then the other Green Lanterns all look like assholes because they were just standing back watching and are there to save Hal, but they just watched him fight Parallax and didn't help.
That's true too. But when you say, as simple as using your enemy's power against them, like, if you, I'm sorry, I'm distracted by things.
Distracted by the beautiful face of Taika Waititi.
He proposed?
It is kind of, sadly poetic to me that he's in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then goes on and makes, one of my least favorite superhero movies later on. This is, the bad... And sorry to folks that like that movie and like Waititi, and I know he's got his fans, and there are people that like some of his movies, and I've not seen any of his other stuff besides the Thor movies, so I don't have a dog with the rest of that. But for me, it's like the mirror universe version of Favreau. Favreau is the sidekick to the hero in Daredevil, and then he starts the MCU. With Iron Man, which is a wonderful film and gets that whole thing going, and then Taika Waititi is the sidekick in one of the worst superhero movies, and then he makes two of the worst superhero movies.
Well, I'm glad you also mentioned Daredevil, because while watching this, I was also thinking of Mark Steven Johnson, just in the sense that I feel like this movie has the execution of Mark Steven Johnson, but not
Mark Steven
Johnson. The ideas behind it. Whereas, like we talked about with Ghost Rider and Daredevil, I think he's got a strong vision that he can't quite hit.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you take that top part away and you only have the execution of Mark Steven Johnson, you get this.
Yeah. Now, I want to say this looks a little worse than a Daredevil and a Ghost Rider, but some of that is because it's more ambitious visually, and there's not as much real stuff on the screen. So, if Mark Steven Johnson made a Green Lantern movie, it would look like this.
Because you'd also probably come in with a stronger idea.
But there would be a lot more close-ups on eyes.
Yeah, and this scene specifically was when it clicked in that it reminded me of that section in Thor. Just in that the Guardians kind of reminded me of the Frost Giants. Mm-hmm. They look a little worse here because they're fully CGI, but it is just kind of ugly.
Yeah,
terrible.
No, I didn't think of that. That's exactly right.
So talking about Lanterns, the new show.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna obviously spoil anything for that, but
this is going to be a different commentary than it would have been because we tried to do this last week before we even got to see that.
Right. There's a section in that where Hal talks about Abin Sur, and that is a lot. That is a much better way to tell us about Abin Sur than that scene in this movie, because that scene is terrible. Where Abin Sur is just like his dying words, and somehow Hal knows what he's talking about. I don't know.
What do you mean?
I don't like that scene where it's like somehow Hal remembers everything. I don't like this trope in movies where people's dying words and then this person remembers everything they say.
I mean, I don't think what he said was all that complicated.
No, it kind of was.
Honestly, I'm going to actually take up for that one just a little bit. Because it's not like, and I love Logan, but I complained about this when I did that scripted review a couple weeks ago of Logan, where Laura memorizes an entire speech from a Western she sees in a hotel room, and then can say it verbatim at the end of the movie. I'm like, is one of your mutant powers an eidetic memory? I feel like a situation like this would be such an earth-shattering once-in-a-lifetime sort of experience that I could see you committing a lot of it to memory.
Sure.
And again, it's not like a whole like half a page speech from a film you memorized.
Yeah.
Now, if he had given him the oath, and then he memorized the oath, then you'd have something.
But it also just like the spaceship. I don't like what the spaceship looked like. I don't like what Abensur looks like in this movie. I don't know.
It gave me Animorphs vibes.
Oh yeah, totally.
I don't know if you were having that.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, there's similar things in the first plays with, like, you know, Elfanger.
Yeah.
He crashes on the planet, and then 5 deserving teenagers show up, and then he gives them the box that gives them their powers. Like, it's kind of ripped right out of Green Lantern, and that's a trope that we do. Like you know, Zordon with the Power Rangers. Like, he doesn't crash and he's dying, but like that, it's a trope we do a lot where you have like a mentor, whether he's dying or not. Often he's dying. That's gonna give like passers-by. I get the Power Rangers not as much, but like there are a lot of examples of that. You know, giving them your powers and hoping that they know what to do with them.
This is where the movie blew my mind, and that nobody's ever told me that Amanda Waller is in this movie, and I was so shocked to find that out.
It did with me too.
And then isn't that?
But I will say though,
isn't that the Queen from Black Panther?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Oh, sorry.
At least a bunch of these actors got to be in better superhero movies.
Yeah.
Obviously, Ryan Reynolds with Deadpool. Mark Strong's done a couple things. Angela Bassett's in Black Panther. And the guy who plays Hector Hammond is in the Batman.
And then that movie, or not that movie, that scene is just Spider-Man 1, where he's like, fly.
Yes.
But this scene's so weird because it keeps intercutting with this scene, and they don't have anything to do with each other.
Well, and it's, you know, there are superhero movies that are cribbing from a lot of other superhero movies that where the thing will come together and make something, you know, kind of fresh and original. And this just feels like it's kind of ripping off from everywhere.
Yeah, forever.
And then it doesn't end up like even like tonally coming together. And so you're right, like it's got its Spider-Man scene, and it's got its kind of Iron Man moments. And I think I said even when it came out that it felt like the Green Lantern movie that you would have made 10 years earlier.
Yeah.
And we've had a lot of examples of that later on, like with the Sony Spider-Man villain movies, where they all feel kind of mid-2000s. But, you know, Austin's spot on about the Mark Steven Johnson thing. Like even by 2011, you know, this feels earlier in the overall superhero movie history now, because we've had so much MCU and all of that. But like back in like time and place, as I always say, you have 2008 Iron Man and Dark Knight changed things, and a movie like this feels so dated when it comes out already. You know, like it feels like we've already cracked the code, and this feels both really formulaic and like it doesn't. Like, we haven't made as many of these as we've made. We're past this formula now. I mean, we're not. We will make a lot more movies that have this formula. But in 2011, it felt like we were moving beyond this.
Well, I think it feels like you said, you have 2008 where we kind of launch off, and then it feels like a 2000s bad Marvel movie, like grabbing at the heels of what superhero films were becoming and like trying to adapt to that, but also still being like one of those bad 2000s Marvel movies. Because there's also like, you know, some of the feeling of Tim Story's FF in this, not as like sitcom-y, like it actually has a plot, so that's nice. But like in that same kind of realm, like I said, it's like one of those trying to masquerade as a post 2008 superhero film.
You know what this movie makes me want to watch, and I've never said this in my life?
Oh no.
Power Rangers 2017.
Yeah.
Like, it just makes me want to watch that movie, and I've never wanted to watch that movie.
No, I can kind of see why. like this kind of has some flashes of things like Chronicle just before that comes out.
Yeah.
Like something's in the air right then. I was also gonna say, I don't know how much of an influence this was, but there's particularly right at the start, quite a bit of like Star Trek '09 Kirk in the way they're handling Hal Jordan, and just like opening him with like driving recklessly in a car and all of that, and then immediately I'm like, Chris Pine would be better casting, even if it's real typecasting, and even if he got this just because he was just Kirk 2 years earlier, but like he would be right for this.
He was a huge fan cast. Even when, like, after Wonder Woman came out, people were like, "Can we find like some sort of excuse for him to play Hal as well?"
Yeah, he would have been right for it, and I don't think people would have minded that it was so close to that same character. I mean, there would be some criticism about it, where it's like he's being typecast, and he's just gonna play that same, brash character. Over and over again.
Yeah. But I mean, you also have that with him as Steve in Wonder Woman, so it would have been rough if he played both.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No, that's true. But I mean, that was after this, and that doesn't happen if this takes off. So.
Yeah.
If he got Hal Jordan, there's no way he would have ever played Steve Trevor.
Have you ever seen a real-life married couple with such little screen chemistry, Kev?
Honestly, somebody in the comments blew my mind. I didn't even know they were married. I had no idea.
Yeah.
I just don't keep up with that kind of thing, and I didn't remember who she was right off.
Yeah, 'cause she's the voice of the girl Deadpool in
that's
the new
right.
one.
I just didn't put together that it was the same person. I think I even saw an interview with her about that and didn't put together. I mean, it's 15 years. Like she's a little older, obviously.
Yeah, because he was married to Scarlett Johansson before her.
But
I don't know if they're still together by this point.
What? Crazy.
That's weird.
Yeah. Well, thanks for telling me that. I had no idea. But yeah,
it's just the gossip, tabloid commentary.
It's Gossip Rewind. They don't have a lot of chemistry. I feel like they're both kind of sleepwalking through this together.
Yeah, and I mean, to be fair, like, there are movies I like better that I think have chemistry that's about as on par with this. Like, I also don't think Hemsworth or Portman have any chemistry. Like, that movie's fine.
Yeah, that's fair. And I was gonna say the romantic relationship is more important in this movie than it is in that, but it's probably not. They're probably on par.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, they're probably on par. Sorry, I was like,
that is such a weird
my mind filled with like the reasons for why Thor is more, and then with why this is equal. So it took me a second to process.
Here's some kind of incompetency in the filmmaking. If you're gonna have, and maybe it's an editing problem more than it's no, but I don't think it is. I think it's also a directing issue. If you're gonna have a fight like that at that car with these guys that are blaming Hal for their losing their jobs, and the camera is going to swing around and it is not going to cut for as long as it's swinging around. You do that whole thing as a oneer. Like, it's weird that it takes as long to cut and then it finally cuts. The cut's weird.
Well, this scene just looks like if the Supergirl A&W scene and the trucker fight in Origins had a baby.
So you were comparing this to Fantastic Four and saying at least this has a plot. It does. In some ways, and don't get me wrong, I obviously really don't like those Tim Story movies. In some ways, this is more frustrating to me because the bar is so low in that first Fantastic Four movie. Silver Surfer is more irritating because it does have a plot and it's bad. But with But with the first Fantastic Four movie, it kind of sets out to just, like you said, be a sitcom and not really tell much of a story. And so I at least like know what it's after, and it's not trying to be any more than what it is. I just wish it was. I wish it was more about something. They get powers, and then they have powers, and that's the movie. But like that's what they wanted to make. This movie has some potentially interesting like character parallels and thematic exploration to do about like nepotism and being handed something you didn't earn and then feeling insecure about yourself and having kind of that imposter syndrome thing, and I think that's honestly an interesting starting place.
Oh my god!
To go to with Green Lantern, where you go, okay, the guy gets a ring from space that makes him super crazy powerful, and doesn't believe that he is worthy of it, that he has earned it, and then parallel that with or use it as a metaphor for real life situations where someone is handed something that they've not deserved. Like that's not a bad idea. I just don't think I just don't feel like we do anything with it at all. And there's sort of like this spectrum of it. I like I talk about a lot with thematic stuff with movies where you have a line, Austin, of nepotism in this movie, and there's a sort of decent initially parallel happening with Hal Jordan and Hector Hammond, I guess. But the problem is, Carol, his would-be girlfriend is also kind of on that line, and is not bothered by the nepotism thing whatsoever. And there's like no discussion of it with her. It's weird, where it's just she's got her job also because of who her father is, and you've got these other two characters that are like stuck in the shadow of their fathers, and I don't feel like they've ever been allowed to make it on their own. And then you've got this girl over here who's got this illustrious career that arguably got there the same way. She's totally fine with it. She's got like no insecurity about it whatsoever. And so I can't decide how much it's really supposed to be about that. Like there's all these initial ideas that are just kind of given to us and dropped, and then we don't really explore them.
Well, this movie's also overstuffed.
Very overstuffed. By the way, that flying sequence was incredible.
Well, I don't know why we decided to cut back and forth between him flying into space and Hector Hammond learning how to masturbate.
I was going to say, there's weird. A lot of... I'm glad you brought that up. And I'm just going to ignore that part of it, because I don't want to talk about that. Because it does look like that. But...
I know, it's really weird.
There's a lot of weird intercutting in this. And most of it is with Hector Hammond, where it's like... There's no real correlation between the two scenes, and it happens a couple of times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I wanted to mention that before we left that the section, because Jason already brought up the last one with Hal looking at the lantern, and Amanda Waller and Hector Hammond looking at Abin Sur. And now we have Barbossa.
Yeah.
You're right. I do think...
green screen.
Yes.
Yeah. Now we're in the Frost Giant land. I agree with it. I think a lot of the voices are good.
That intercutting editing that we were talking about, I now like to refer to as Picard editing. Because that's the most baffling occurrence of it that I've seen now is there are multiple episodes of that show of Picard where we keep intercutting between 2 or even 3 things happening at the same time.
What?
And I have no idea why we're looking at what we're looking at when we're looking at it. It just seems completely arbitrary, and there's this pretentiousness with it in Picard. Where here I think it's just we've got all this footage and we can't decide exactly how to structure it, exactly how to organize it. Which is interesting because Austin, just like with the director, you have an otherwise really competent editor here in Stuart Baird, who edited the original Superman and a lot of Bond films, and like one of the greatest editors. Horrible director. He made Star Trek Nemesis. So like, I hate Stuart Baird as a director. I love him as an editor usually. But even he gets his hands on this and he's like, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I think just so much of this is lackluster that it's like, put some life into it. In editing. I don't know. I feel like that was probably their thought process.
It really doesn't feel like anybody had much of a take with it in the first place. Like it has that problem of being of just being a product first, like as an idea. You know, we're gonna try a shared universe. What do we start with? Green Lantern seems kind of popular in comics right now, and like Berlanti and those guys, I love comics. Don't get me wrong. Like, however you feel about their writing ability, like there's reverence for material. There's ridiculous amounts of fan service in their shows, but it feels like from the top down, there's not really much of an idea here.
Yeah, and I mean, this has that issue of just, what are we going to put in the Green Lantern movie? I don't know. Everything.
Wow, that Green Lantern with one
Not
eye.
Literally, but
it's got kind of that issue of like everything and also nothing, where like there's a lot of other villains with Green Lantern. You had to start with Parallax, who
I think
Hal
Hector Hammond
Jordan
would have been fine
in the comics.
Enough.
And they sorry, what was that, Austin?
I said, and I think Hector Hammond would have been fine enough.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think we really need. You basically do what you're doing with him, where he's the bug from Men in Black. That's fine.
Well, and he's also got a lot in common with the villain of Howard the Dog.
That's true.
The first time I saw this, I was...
But not as funny.
No, I was absolutely baffled by that. I was like, wait, you guys just ripped off the guy from Howard the Duck that's like, what's the big line?
Something else.
Yeah, the something else guy?
Yeah. I love that guy.
Toby Bellbones just put in a $2 super chat and says, I've not seen this movie, but I'm sure it sucks. You gotta see it yourself.
We're looking at it right now. I'm pretty sure it sucks.
We're never gonna get his actual opinion. He's not gonna watch it.
And again, Mark Strong could have been a really cool choice for Sinestro.
So apparently, if these guys, if the Green Lantern Corps is all really excited about something, they always put their rings up in the air and just shoot beams into space. They do it twice. I guess that's like a tradition with them, is to make beams come out all over the planet. Isn't that a big like panel in Jeff Johns somewhere? It's either a cover or it's like a.
I think it's a cover.
It's
too.
like a famous panel.
Yeah, I think it's a cover too. Basically, Cap, like the military, where they have to use up all their ammunition at the end of their fiscal year so they can justify their budget. The Green Lanterns have to do that. They have to use up all their energy. Otherwise, it'll be cut for next year.
Okay. Yeah, I like your idea of just let Hector Hammond be the bad guy in the first place. Like I don't know. You could give him the same motivation, I guess, and just flesh it out more in again making him a character like Hal, who feels like he's riding his father's coattails and can't find a place for himself, and is struggling with developing his own ambition and all of that. But I don't know what the angle would be beyond that if you're not doing this like weird parallax thing. It's like you'd have to figure that out. Like, what exactly is he doing, and does he get power somehow or something? I guess you could make it like a sort of X-Files-y thing where he learns about the Green Lantern Corps, or he learns about aliens, and he tries to like get his hands on a ring or the power somehow or something.
Yeah.
That might
You
be
also
cool.
could have done like a cool X-Files-y take on like a Black Hand or something.
Sure.
There's definitely things you could have done with this instead of parallax.
Because I kind of like the idea that he dissects Abin Sur and then gets something from that. I don't like that it's I don't love that it's parallax. But like he could find technology from that, or he could find something, I don't know, like special in Abin Sur's blood that gives him something.
Yeah. Well, and just everything about the parallax and Abin Sur thing just kind of baffled me on an initial viewing, where it's like we open with there was parallax and he was evil and Abin Sur captured him, and then immediately cut to Abin Sur parallax flies out and kills Abin Sur. Like, it's such a weird way to open this movie, I think.
Yeah.
It is, and when you and I were talking about that the other day, you're right, it watches silly because it's in such rapid succession, but looking at it again, like, I get on paper what it is. It just feels goofy in the moment, where the idea is he's a lot more powerful after he's been on that planet, and he's gotten he's fed on the fear of all these characters, or of all these people that were on that planet. And so now he's able to come back and beat Abin Sur because he's so much more powerful, and also he sneaks up on him. Like, Abin Sur didn't see him coming, and so I don't think it's actually that goofy that he comes back and beats Abin Sur. It's just that we get it all within about 30
just
seconds.
That it's like they tell you something and the immediate next thing is the exact opposite. So it's like, oh, I don't know.
Okay.
It just kind of felt awkward.
This is where this is all the evidence you need that Hal Jordan is not a real person. Okay. Because, like, I never believe him, really, through this movie. And I want to talk more about his characterization. The only evidence you need that this is not a real person that does real person things is he makes a sword from that's his construct. That's fine. And the Sinestro makes 2 swords. And then Hal Jordan just fights him with 1 sword. You're not, I can't take you seriously. You're not a real person. There is nothing stopping you from now making a 2nd sword, or a larger sword, or a chainsaw in the first damn place.
Look, if we got the Green Lantern ring, we'd be making like Pac-Man and Heather Locklear, just like a bunch of crazy stuff. But yeah, like, you can't even make a 2nd sword.
Yeah, like it's ridiculous. And I complained back in the day with the Rewind, and I still stand by this, that we make a big deal out of how the ring goes after not just the person with the most will, but obviously it would be this goes hand in hand, and I like this idea that like will and imagination kind of go together. And you need a character that comes up with a lot of both smart and like interesting and creative constructs. And Hal Jordan is just himself as generic as the movie is. Where very few of his constructs do I ever go, oh, that's kind of clever. And like you need to feel that way like several times. So the only places I have that or at least the first time I saw it, the racetrack thing stands out, and obviously that's kind of the big set piece. And like it's foreshadowed earlier, and so like he's thinking about something that happened earlier, and so like in a weird way, it's sort of resourceful. It's sort of I'm grasping at straws, right? Like it's not impressive, but it's something. Because as soon as you just go to airplanes, it's like, well, you're a pilot, so like of course you're gonna do that. You know, you want. I guess what I'm saying is you want your character to be more complex and more well-rounded, and let's give him some more interests. You know, let's get him into some stuff outside of his job.
Yeah.
And so all he can think of is like typically masculine things and airplanes. And like that's it. So okay, he's kind of you know, he's a man's man, so he thinks of swords and machine guns. Like okay.
Yeah, and I mean, like I'm more fine with Hal's constructs being like a little more basic, in like how it separates the other main lanterns that we typically get in the comics. But
Yeah.
like, it does feel like in this movie, like they don't really have a ton of ideas of how to do that.
Yeah, I just think it stands out too much because they sort of talk about it like he's creative and clever or something. At least later. You know. And now to be fair, I guess early on maybe his constructs would be lamer because he doesn't believe in himself yet. This is very much a you have to believe in yourself kind of story, right? Where the ring and this is like very typical, very stereotypical for these kind of fantasy films where you go your protagonist is begrudgingly answering the call to heroism, and he kind of resists it, but it's because he doesn't think he's worthy, he doesn't think he's good enough, and the thing that chooses him sees something in him that he can't see. And so he looks like he's got the opposite of what he's supposed to have, will, fearlessness. And it turns out that he just hasn't tapped into that yet, because he doesn't trust himself enough to get there. And then he finds his courage, you know, by the end of the movie. None of that do I actually buy in the story that we have.
You also maybe could have done more of like a father-son. Yeah. You also maybe could have done more of like a father-son thing where, like, you know, his father died in the plane crash, so like that's part of his insecurity, and maybe you could have something between the two of them, like some sort of common interest that he could then use as a construct. Just like something is like, it gives me like confidence to be like my dad. You know what I mean? Like you could have done something like that, maybe.
Well, that's part of the reason that the paralleling with him and Hector doesn't work the way it ought to, because we get the dynamic with Hector and his father, and I want to see how that compares to Hal's. But all we know is that his dad died in a plane crash.
Yep.
You know, that's all we have. And so he's... And tell me if I'm missing something or if this makes more sense to you. He is brash and he's reckless and he's real reactionary. He's real impulsive, right? And so in that way, he seems like overconfident. Like that's that sort of like Daredevil man without fear thing. But then he's paralyzed by the memory of his father's plane crash. And I don't, and so we have like sometimes he is like real brash, and I keep saying that, and like just leaps before he looks. But he also is unsure of himself and gives up very quickly. And I don't fully understand like how those things totally go together. And again, like people are complex and walking contradictions. I just don't feel like I fully understand this character. You know what I mean? I need to see the connective tissue where the man is both of those things. So I need someone to explain to me why he's mentally crippled the way he is in the moment that he is in the airplane. Like, is it just that he thinks he might crash and that reminds him of his father and so now he's paralyzed? Because when it happens, he's not, like, about to crash or anything, I don't think. Like, isn't he totally in control in that moment?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't.
No,
it's
that's
not
no. He's about to crash.
Is he about to crash? Okay, I'm
crash,
just remembering it wrong in the moment. Okay.
So
we need the Mark Steven Johnson 20-minute flashback with him and his dad. Sorry. Go ahead, Jason.
I didn't talk about Kilowog. Kilowog is my favorite Green Lantern, and they did not do him very well in this, because he gets nothing to do and he looks stupid, and also, like, they're not afraid to make pink characters. I don't know what they were. I don't know what they're thinking. But he is an outlaw.
Maybe
he's quick on the
they have
draw.
so many
So
pink characters.
that makes up for it. So
did you hear that?
No, sorry. What was
He
that?
said he's an outlaw and he's quick on the draw.
So that makes up for it. So I'm like of two minds about it.
Not there was too many pink characters. Kind of like we have with Guardians, where Drax is more gray, so that you don't have two green ones. That might have been their thought process.
See, I don't know.
Nightmare Room just said that Mark Steven Johnson 20-minute flashback with him and his dad is in the extended cut.
Oh, okay. Well,
crazy.
Maybe it is a better movie if you have that. It's 20 minutes, so that would make it quite a bit more like the Daredevil director's cut if that's the case. I wonder how much it really improves on it. Because
it might not specifically be 20 minutes because that's just how I refer to that. But like just getting more of that would be good.
It's just 10 minutes longer.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that would be all told. So I don't know if that's all that's added or if that 10 minutes is spread out throughout the movie.
I'm not gonna go check.
5 minutes of that is him and his dad, and 5 minutes is adding every other Green Lantern villain.
So yeah, Sinestro says we must forge a yellow ring. I need discussion about that. The Guardians are so slow to do anything. It's kind of wild that they just immediately agree to that, given that what they're fighting is a former Guardian that is made of yellow energy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, for sure.
And, like, I get that they're desperate at this point, but it took them way too long while Parallax was destroying whole planets to finally even agree to let Sinestro take some Green Lanterns and go try to fight it. And then now he goes, oh, we gotta make Yellow Ring, and they're like, okay. And, like, they just do that. Like I said, it just seems like, obviously compounding the problem. It would be the last thing I would think that they would agree to. Because you're risking
nothing and nothing works.
You're risking just creating another one of those. Like, why would they think that they could control it? Everything about Parallax proves that, at least at face value, that fear is in fact more powerful than will, and that, or at the very least, that it corrupts, very easily. And so when he says we must forge a yellow ring, like, okay, they're gonna make one, and who's gonna wear it? They don't even talk about that. Like, you can assume that it's Sinestro, but like, do they trust him? Like more than I guess they would. Like, I guess he seems like he was the immediate protege of Abin Sur. Like, I guess he's like the next top dog. But you'd think that if he was so quick to suggest that, they would be worried that he, like the other Guardian, could be corrupted by it, I guess is what I'm saying.
Real quick. They did something that's really stupid. Where, we
That's
see
kind of
Carol.
But
We see, well, yeah, I mean, this whole movie is very stupid, but, we see Carol, and we just see her in a close-up.
Yeah.
And he goes, I like your dress, but we don't see her dress.
I had that when I was watching it today. the close up that they've got on her, and it lingers. It's
Yeah.
like a minute before you finally see the dress, and they barely even show it to you, and she might as well not be wearing anything because it's low cut and it's from here up, and so he's like, "You have a nice dress." And the audience might as well be looking at a naked woman.
Yeah,
it's hilarious. Like, it's that Snyder thing of give me an establishing shot. Just open that, backed off. And that's where Mark Steven Johnson's got one over on him, Austin, because you remember the scene in Daredevil where he's going up the stairs, and Elektra's up there in that dress. And then she said she wanted to look beautiful for Matt. And they do this big wide shot from the bottom up at the balcony where you see the dress. They establish the hell out of that dress. Yeah. This is a combination of sort of that scene and the first Green Goblin attack in Spider-Man.
Oh, when they first come up to each other, it also reminded me of the "Get Me a Martini with a lot of olives" scene from Iron Man.
like at least 4 olives.
At least 3.
Oh no, 3 olives.
Usually,
she says, yeah. I messed up that trivia question, Austin. I would have got that wrong.
No,
I just watched that, and I thought you were right.
I'm such a fraud.
When it comes to olives, I'll never forget.
There are 3 olives.
I should have said this earlier. This probably kind of goes without
saying. It's my Rain Man quality.
But Austin, isn't it really bizarre that to my point earlier, and even if he doesn't see his first Zorro movie as a superhero movie, this director has made one of the greatest superhero films of all time and one of the worst superhero films of all time. It's fascinating.
Yeah. And 2 of the best Bond films of all time. Like, he's a good director.
Yeah, did he make GoldenEye?
Yeah, GoldenEye and Casino Royale, because he's got a duology of first Bond movies.
This guy made your favorite
because
Bond
I was going to say, GoldenEye is not the best Bond film of all time. But
I didn't say it was the best. I said it was one of. But no, he's got a good duology. GoldenEye's a good movie.
We're talking about Green Lantern here.
But that tank scene, dude.
Yeah, the tank scene's alright. Cool. No, but Casino Royale's that's awesome.
And GoldenEye was also edited by Stuart Baird. That was one of the Bond movies he did.
Did he do Casino Royale as well?
I'd have to look. I'm not sure about that.
Oh, okay. No, I was hoping he would get a trilogy of first Bond movies, but this movie tanked his career.
No, this is the 3rd one.
Yeah, that would have been cool if he came back and did whatever the next thing is they do. But that probably won't happen now.
No, and that's already got a director.
Oh, I didn't even know there was a project.
Yep. Yeah, it's Villeneuve's directing it.
Yes, he did edit Casino Royale.
Oh, okay, cool. But yeah, that's his next movie after Dune 3.
Herjig Godzilla, how was nobody beheaded here? Oh, that reminds me. So I was going to say earlier, Austin, I liked your idea of Hector Hammond being the real main villain for this. And I think, now we're saying this retroactively, because obviously the movie I'm going to reference comes out after this, but it could have really worked to do that Doctor Strange thing, where that's your main villain, and then we have ally or friend that will eventually turn enemy, like by the end of the movie, to set up for a sequel, like with Mordo. Because I had exactly that Mordo thought, and I think with Sinestro, the way you do it is, yes, the Lanterns manage to, because like give him kind of this ideological argument of we have to fight fire with fire, like we have to take that risk, and the Green Lantern Corps is all about will, and will is doing what needs to be done even when it's risky. And you Guardians don't have the will I have. I am willing to even I have so much will that I'm willing to change out my rings and risk being taken over by fear to defeat fear. That like proves how much will I have, right? And the Green Lanterns ultimately, and not Hal by himself because it's stupid, ultimately managed to defeat whatever the threat is. Well, maybe Hal by himself if it's just Hector Hammond, but like whatever the thing is they're fighting. He goes, even if it's still this parallax thing, Austin, he goes, we need fear to fight fear. And the Guardians ultimately refuse to let him put on the ring, even if they make it or they never make it, whatever they decide to do. And one of Sinestro's like best friend Green Lanterns is killed in the battle. And so by the end, he still has reason to be angry and say, if you'd just done it my way, we could have got out of this unscathed. So like they still win, but there's a big sacrifice that happens. And it's because they didn't have the will to do what he said they should do. That's your character.
To do what's necessary.
Something like that.
No, and that's something that comes up before this. Because like I said, there's two ways to do it. You either do the Mordo thing, and this just hit me, I don't know why I didn't think of this in the first place, or it's Ra's al Ghul, and Batman Begins.
Yes. And I said this in the rewind, but it is such a mistake to not be more thoughtful about the will versus fear stuff when Batman Begins did it a few years earlier, like 50 times better than this. It's like the superhero movie that's a meditation on that idea has been made already. And that's all baked into Green Lantern. So if you're going to do it again, you got to come up with a new angle on it, and it can't feel as generic as this. Hilarious.
Green.
Green.
I mean, you knew it was green.
Now it feels like we're in like Jumper or something.
Yeah.
It's your favorite movie. Now, is this better than Jumper?
Yes.
Marginally.
Hilarious.
Yeah, that was a complete waste of a scene. Like, his sidekick character does nothing. Like, he's a waste of a character. He does not need to be here.
He's comic relief.
No, we adapted Pieface.
He says he proposed. That's hilarious.
So one of the issues with this movie, too, is that it's simultaneously really typical superhero movie formula, and like I said, feels like the Green Lantern movie you'd make 10 years before that, but also wants to subvert expectations and go, look at us, we're going a different direction with like really typical types of scenes. And so it goes, how can we turn the secret identity thing on its head, and she's going to recognize Hal Jordan through the mask. You cannot have your cake and eat it too with this. You cannot play this kind of thing both ways. Either you have the logic that a domino mask hides an identity, or it doesn't. You don't get to say it works on some people and it does on others. And their lame excuse, like you have the comic logic or you don't. Their lame excuse is she knows him better than anyone else and has seen him naked and therefore looks at him with a domino mask and knows that it's him. But other people that are familiar with him, like know him very well, get right up to his face and can't tell that it's him. And you don't need to be physically intimate with a person to have that. And that's in the dark most of the time.
Also, because it's the CW guys, he's got the stupid filter on his voice when he goes to see her there, because they love doing that. Because they're super hung up on that identity stuff you were just talking about.
Yes.
Also, Taika Waititi would be like his type of character is also all over those CW shows. Is like the best friend,
Yeah.
guy in the chair type person.
Well, I was gonna say I'm surprised that he's not really played as guy in the chair in this. Like he doesn't get to do anything.
That's because it's the pilot. You get that in the next couple episodes.
There you go. Well,
and then in like a season from now, he has an entire team.
We haven't talked a lot more about that, but it like everything about it feels real TV pilot. Where like you get the whole origin done in the first episode. This would probably be like a couple of episodes, and you have a big like end of the world sort of plot that you manage real quick. I mean, bigger than you probably have in one of their TV pilots. But even the structure of it, there are a couple of places where I swear to God, it's what you'd write right before a commercial break. Like, I feel like I could make the argument, and like I'm not watching this super close while we're talking about it, so I don't know if we've already talked over my big one. There was one this afternoon when I rewatched this where I was like, that's just a commercial break. I wonder if I could go back through this, Austin, and make the case that it is structured not in 3 acts but 5 acts like a TV show. I wonder if the case can be made. Obviously, I can tell you what the 3-act breaks are, but I wonder if they're not kind of plotting it like a TV show. Because it really feels that way. Austin, how would you handle the identity thing? Like, I don't know that a Green Lantern even really needs a secret identity.
Yeah, I mean, I can see it either way. That's one of those things I'm kind of fine with, and I'm sure bigger Green Lantern fans are more opinionated on that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not enough of a Green Lantern guy. Like, I feel like you could do it either way.
Well, that's a part. That's the thing I'm surprised that they didn't go more the Iron Man direction of, and be like, well, he's a now popular superhero that doesn't have a identity. We'll just start Green Lantern with not having one.
Yeah.
Maybe they were just
very true. But like I said, they're still stuck in that 2000s Marvel place.
Well, and if this was a TV show, he just wouldn't have a mask, probably.
Yeah, he just paint it. Also, Amanda Waller is basically not Nick Fury from Rise of the Silver Surfer in this, except at least they were able to make it an actual character. But because we're here, it is crazy to me that this does have like a very accurate origin for her to the Ostrander stuff, down to like we just kind of alluded to the weird Candyman thing where she lives in Cabrini Greens and like her daughter and husband were killed.
Oh, see, I don't even know her well enough to know all that. But I find it really like, even if I knew that was real comic accurate, I think I would still be distracted by just how like cheap and poorly given to the audience that is.
Where, no, it's bad.
It's bad.
Like,
it's
don't get me wrong.
It's overly TV. Like, it's shocking how much this movie cost with how cheap it feels. So like,
but so much of that is just you have to have so much CGI. Like, there's so many fully CGI characters. Like, it just eats up the budget in that way.
You didn't have the money to like cast those characters for bit roles and at least allow them to be moving and not just do it all with like still photos. And it's not even a stylistic thing, because it's not like every time he touches someone he only gets their flashbacks in still pictures like that. Like, you could have done something stylistic with it, I guess.
No, yeah. Her backstory is shot like plumbers don't wear ties.
Hector Hammond touches her and then goes, "Why is there the disembodied head of a panda floating over your bed?"
Now, I will say, I am glad that Hammond is not CG and is real makeup.
Yes.
Spared no expense.
This actually has that over Captain America Brave New World.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God.
I know, that's how bottom of the barrel we're going. this evening, Austin.
Yeah. Well, that also had like a nice practical look, and then they didn't go with it.
Then they didn't go with it. But this at least did that, I guess. Look, I'm giving it what
Like
I can give it.
Above them, there's the titular golden eye, that big like metallic golden circle thing.
The golden eye.
Ah.
Let me read this super chat real quick. DFX Eric, $5 Canadian. Nathan Fillion is the only guy I see as Hal Jordan, but he was just too old. Yeah, and of course, that was the other fan casting. A lot of people wanted him because he was voicing it in the animated movies, and he's really good in those as that character. I think he probably could have played it then. I think he was just barely still young enough. They probably could have gotten away with it.
Yeah, the issue is just they wanted a name.
Yep. Well, and it sucks because Nathan Fillion was a big enough name for television, and they made a TV movie and they put it on the big screen. So just like use good, well-known TV people because you're basically making television.
But this does kind of have the reverse of what a lot of these movies do, where our villain isn't stunt casted, but our hero is.
Well, that's true. I mean, you say that like... I don't feel like Reynolds is as big of a name as he is, obviously now.
No, he was pretty big at this point. Yeah. Yeah, because he was huge in like the comedy world, and yeah, this like really stunted his career.
Okay, I guess the problem is I didn't.
He dropped down a little bit and then to build back up.
I didn't watch enough of that kind of stuff to know how popular he was.
Yeah, no, he was definitely a big name at this point.
Not the CG fire.
Yeah, that's pretty rough. Also, is it Austin? I'm sorry, I'm not looking at a cast list. Is it Angela Bassett?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, she's Amanda Waller, and the way she gets taken out is really funny.
She
gets thrown into that window.
Have a whole lot of experience with ADR, and they probably should have re-recorded that scream because it's very silly.
Now, Dad, what do you think of the score?
I mean, I'm a broken record. It's like so many other elements of this. It's pretty generic. And I'll also say, if you think of that like little 4 or 5 note melody, that's the main kind of hero theme for Green Lantern. Da 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 da.
Yeah.
Imagine a Green Lantern show in the Arrowverse. That'd be your theme. That'd be your 10-second thing with the title where they don't get a full intro. Like they all have that. Like even that feels kind of TV. One thing that is curious about the score to me, and this goes into another point that I meant to make earlier, so I'll just tack this in real fast. Is there are places where it's directly ripping off John Williams, and wants to do the Superman score, but like right at the end of Melodies.
Yeah.
Where just all of a sudden it brings that in. And there's a few elements like that where it seems either inspired by or ripping off, depending on how you want to look at it, depending on if you're a glass half full person, Donner Superman. And Austin, I feel like even the opening with that voiceover is kind of, as generic as it is trying to harken back to Donner Superman. Not that movie opens with a voiceover, but just the kind of the Jor-El voiceover stuff.
Yeah. Oh man, if you were to go full Donner, it would have been cool to open with like a cold open of Abinster dying, and then go through space with the ring.
Oh, sure.
That would have been a really cool way to open this.
No, you're right. There are great ways that you can go back and homage that material. And I think Superman is a great place to start with this material, because they both start in space cosmic places, and then become Earth-based stories about characters that are either from space or are changed by something from space. And so, and it's also a DC property, and you're trying to restart, or you're trying to start a new shared universe. So, like, taking your cues from that and making this more of a science fiction epic, or I would argue you can do Green Lantern as more of like a fantasy epic. Even if
Yeah,
it's Earth
definitely.
based, it could still feel kind of epic like Superman did.
This edit confused me really hard the first time I was watching it. Where like it feels like that scene just stops, and now we're in this scene where we're talking, and it's like, why did he let Hector Hammond go?
Oh, that's true. There's something missing. Well, that's where the commercial break was supposed to be. So they were hoping you wouldn't notice when you came back.
I will say, like, at least Parallax has a voice, I guess. He looks bad, but it's not like full Galactus.
That's true, but it's awkward because I don't come into this, and again, I'm not a big Green Lantern guy, but I don't come into this with any preconceived notion of what I want Parallax to be, because this isn't what Parallax is.
No, I know, but like, at least it's not just a cloud. Like, at least it is like a being. I don't know. It's maybe a little better than Galactus, not by much. And I mean, it's Clancy Brown doing like a pretty generic villain voice, so it's not like they had an amazing take or anything.
Well, one of the reasons that the Parallax choice frustrates me, besides that you're just, I mean, who cares, because this isn't a good movie and it was never going to have a big franchise, but like, all things being equal, if it was a better film, you're immediately taking that story off the table. So like, you're not going to get Hal Jordan to a like morally ambiguous place and corrupt him, and like, you're never going to tell that story now. But also, tell me if you have this, Austin. We complain a lot about how too many superhero movies, the villain has to be just an evil version of the hero. I think it's worse when your origin movie, and Power Rangers 2017 has this problem. When your origin movie has a villain that is not just like a bad version of your hero where like they're using the same technology, or like it's a similar motif, but like is an evil that is created by the hero, or the thing that makes the hero like gives it his mantle, because it should make everyone involved question whether this organization is causing more harm than it's causing good. When you start with it, with like, we're cleaning up our own mess, the new guy that just got brought in, the first thing he should be asking is, was any of this ever a good idea? Because like, the Guardian got corrupted by fear and is now threatening to destroy everything. And you're going to come into the core and you're going to defeat it and then be like, yay, the core. But what you ought to be saying is, well, you guys kind of created this problem.
That well, it's kind of like if the first X-Men movie was X-Men 3, where it's like you're doing Dark Phoenix first, but it's that X3 version where it's Professor X's fault, instead of the big space bird. And it's like, why is that your starting place?
What do you think of the speech?
I'm very moved.
Yeah, it's very moving.
I have visions of the Sony logo in my head because I'm so moved.
Here's the thing. I actually don't think it's awful, and I think it's like the closest to a decent dramatic performance that he's giving, because I just don't believe him this whole movie. The problem is, I don't really believe the transformation that he's made.
Yeah.
Like, he got here too quickly and in a scene.
Yeah, he got there in
and
a scene.
we're suddenly talking about how much more mature he is. And I'm just not really believing it. And I'm not buying his whole thing, his whole ethos. Like, I don't know. Tell me what you think, Austin, about this notion that he is, like, deeply afraid of everything, but if he can just, like, put that aside, he's got, like, this amazing courage that he's just not really tapped into. Like, do you buy any of that?
No, he just comes off as like he just plays it really dull. Like he's like, yeah, on Earth, we got a saying, we're only human. You know,
I don't think it's that bad.
like,
Da, 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 da,
like
da.
I don't know.
That's a Power Ranger shot.
Yeah.
And then, and maybe the comics have this problem to some degree too, because I've just not read enough Green Lantern. But one of the biggest issues I always had with this movie, and I would be remiss if I didn't bring it up, since I don't know when we'll ever talk about this again. Hopefully, never. But Austin, I've always been confused about how exactly fear as the source of power works, because it always felt to me like it was talking out of both sides of its face with it, where Hector Hammond gives into his fear, and that gives him this, like, great source of power, but it always felt to me like sometimes it's intimidation and sometimes it's fear. It's like the power is making other people afraid, but it's your own fear that you had that gives you the power in the first place. Okay, here's the problem with that. If you become massively powerful because of your fear and now nothing can touch you, you wouldn't be afraid anymore. So what is powering it at that point? And, like, the parallax thing almost makes more sense because it's feeding on fear. So I don't know that it has to be afraid to be powerful, but, like, does Hector remain afraid? Do you guys get where I'm coming from?
I
Like,
guess. Yeah.
I've never understood that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't want to overthink it,
Yeah.
but I don't see that paradox in the will thing the way I do with fear.
Mm-hmm.
Where, like, if you have the will to act, you can't have so much will that you would, like, no longer have will.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But if you got to the ultimate power of fear, you wouldn't be scared of anything anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it gets into like a weird Sith place, I guess. I don't know. I'm not sure how that would work.
And, like, I like the distinction that Batman Begins makes with it, where it's kind of covering all aspects of fear. Like I've always said, fear as a motivator and fear as a detractor, and how you can manipulate other people's fear. But the idea there is that you overcome your own fear by, like, walking right into it. And even if you remain afraid, like Batman does, of bats, you learn to like, circumvent that. You even stay afraid, but it doesn't cripple you anymore. And then you're able to manipulate the fear of other people. And this doesn't really have that distinction.
Mm-hmm.
Hector just says, I'm like I gave in to my fear and now I have all this power, and I'm like, okay, well then I would think you would lose your power immediately after that because you wouldn't be afraid anymore. I think there's an inherent paradox in that.
We're super inconsistent with this stuff all the time, but would the Green Lantern ring work like that, where he shoots it out and it just shoots back at him because he wasn't chosen?
Robotters, where Batman can wield both rings, but the yellow ring will be more drawn to Batman. Yeah, well, even in comics, I can't decide if it's intimidation or fear. Like, they always say it's the power of fear, but it seems like the people that have the yellow ring, like, is Sinestro scared? That's what I need somebody to explain to me. Is like, Sinestro is the leader of the Yellow Lantern Corps, of the Sinestro Corps.
Yeah.
Is he scared? He doesn't seem scared.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like
He
it's
does
the
have
power
like a
of
sniveling, scared Frenchman mustache, so he must be.
It's the power of making other people afraid. And there's not one other, as far as I understand it, emotion on the spectrum that does that, where it's not about your own emotion
Yeah, it's
that
so
powers
weird.
it. It's about what you make other people fear.
Yeah.
Like rage
Right.
is your rage.
Right.
It's not you're making other people angry, and so now you power your ring.
Mm-hmm. And I hadn't even thought about that. Yeah.
I forgot about it till we just saw it, but when Hector Hammond dies, he makes a Tom from Tom and Jerry scream. And it's very silly.
That is silly. Daniverse Sinestro's power feeds on fear. Okay, well then they probably shouldn't talk about it the same way as all the other the other rings.
Yeah.
You know, like blue is hope and red is rage. Yellow is not fear, it's intimidation. But that's also not an emotion. Anyway, I get really hung up on this point.
Yeah, don't get hung up, Cap. We're about to see an epic battle.
Yeah, well, and if I blink, I'm gonna miss it, so...
I mean, thank God it wasn't like an hour-long Avengers fight.
Oh, this is interesting. Matt Bat says, insecurity. Once you're powerful, you constantly are afraid of losing that power. The constant pursuit of power to feel secure, but it's never enough. And, like, that's the fear that powers it. Like, if you got into that, I guess I could be made to buy that. That's not anywhere in this movie.
That's because it was written by the guys that created the Arrowverse, Cap.
Yeah, but look, there's precedent for hacky TV writers somehow making a movie or writing a movie that's better than it has any business being. And like the stuff that most doesn't work in Spider-Man 2 is because it's the Smallville guys writing it, but like it ain't this.
No. But it also has a good... sorry, I shouldn't say that because Brian Campbell is a good director, but this isn't the type of thing that he's good at making. Right. Whereas Spider-Man's more in line with that, with Raimi.
Robert, I guess the Parallax Space Cloud is maybe better than the Galactus Space Cloud. I have a hard time even comparing them on that level, because again, I'm just looking at this going, why is it even Parallax?
That's what I was saying earlier. Like I think technically is better than the Galactus Cloud monster, yeah, but like
technically,
it's not great.
I suppose so.
He's like down here killing folk.
At least, at least it's
he's the Kurgan
present threat that comes down to the planet. Sure. Oh, that's a big creepy face in a building.
He breathes his yellow atomic breath. There's Subway.
There's a plug for Subway. That
You see, that was metaphorical, Cap, because the Subway logo was half yellow, half green.
Okay.
Don't you know?
We got some real Spider-Man 3 energy happening here.
I wish we had Spider-Man 3 energy right now.
Okay, energy was not the right word. Movie, but the face really reminds me of the Big Sandman face. I mean that does look a lot better than this, but
a lot better.
But it just sort of reminds
me. That looks really good.
It just reminds me of that. Okay, I'm not saying it's
get
good.
Out of here.
I mean, even I'm gonna say Spider-Man 3 is a gigantic step up from this thing, but
immensely so.
Yeah, I mean, that's a movie that really frustrates me, but I would much rather watch it than this.
Which film?
Spider-Man 3.
Spider-Man 3 is 100 times better than this movie. That's like
Well, it has
Dude, Jason
any
and I have
energy at
visceral
all
reactions to that.
to-
Like it
to
is.
Austin.
It
that's
is
like a 10 out
visceral.
of 10 compared to this.
compared to this. Yeah.
Yes. 100%.
Well, somebody earlier when I brought up TMNT, and that was just the first example that came to mind. Like, there's definitely better examples of superhero movies that open with voiceover that are just really, really typical and terrible. But because TMNT is not bad, it's just got a really lame villain plot. But anyway, somebody was like, well, this makes that look like Dark Knight, and that is true.
Have you guys seen? Oh, thanks for destroying the satellite, Hal. Have you guys seen John Semper's Green Lantern movie?
What do you mean?
John Semper made a Green Lantern movie.
Which one was it?
It was whatever the like Man of Tomorrow universe. It's like Beware My Power or whatever. I don't know. Beware My Light.
Yeah, but it's Jon Stewart, right?
Yes, it is Jon Stewart.
No, I've not seen that one yet. I've got it, but I've not watched it yet because everybody said it was terrible.
I just wondered because that also goes to Parallax, and
does it?
It's bizarre.
And is it Parallax that's not Hal Jordan again?
No, it is. Yeah, it is.
Oh, okay. Because the other thing that's weird is, so it's, as far as I understand it, completely reinvented. Because I don't think Parallax in the comics was ever a Guardian either.
No, like somebody said in Rebirth when we read that, he's like a bug.
Like, Jeff Johns gave it an origin, because it was a big mystery when it took over, or when... Well, not even a mystery. Like, Hal Jordan just turns into it, and then Jeff Johns decided retroactively that it was something that possessed him.
Yeah.
I think
exactly. He just becomes... evil, and then it's retconned.
And
same with Hal's also older than, and then Jeff Johns also, I think, retcons it that he wasn't actually older.
And what Johns did with it is he said it was captured and put in the central battery. And I really don't know why this didn't do that.
Yeah. Because that's the explanation for why they're weak to yellow.
Yeah, why does it put it on Riot? Like, at least keep that. I don't even understand why you would change that.
Goodbye, Parallax.
So yeah, Sinestro is going to congratulate Hal Jordan for his very obligatory character transformation, and for proving him wrong that the Green Lantern Corps could defeat Parallax without the power of fear. And then he's gonna just go put on the yellow ring. Like, this is a Sinestro that has no business going evil after this.
Like I said, these assholes were just watching this happen. They could have helped, but
yeah, that's true too.
Can I also complain about how like bad the setup is for the sun thing, where he's training with Kilowog, and Kilowog makes like a green sun behind Hal, and he goes, "By the way, Hal, the bigger you are next to a sun, the faster you burn." And it's like, he might as well come out, look straight into the camera and be like, "Yes, this is how we're going to beat Parallax."
Yeah, and this movie is like that constantly with setup and payoff, where it's patting itself on the back so hard for, you saw this earlier in the movie. That's not how good setup and payoff works. Like, it's so telegraphed that, like you said, you know it's going to come back.
Also, Kilowog, you barely trained him. He was there for 2 minutes.
Yes. No, exactly. That
which is why just have Sinestro train him and be in the movie. Like, have him go back to Earth with him to train him.
They did it again.
That's exactly what I was going to say earlier, Austin. I think Sinestro should have gone to Earth.
Yeah. I don't need it to be Kilowog. Like, it's cool that he's here, but like, it's fine if you simplify that.
No, Sinestro I mean, if you're gonna blatantly rip off movies, you might as well be sensible about the things that you're ripping off. You've got all the same themes as Batman Begins. You just take Sinestro and you.
Oh, sorry, you cut out.
I cut out for you. I said you obviously just take Sinestro and make him your Ducard.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, duh.
They said it's either that he's either Ducard or he's Mordo.
I think he can be both. Well, okay, sort of both. I guess what I'm saying is if you make him Mordo, he starts off being the Ducard that Bruce thought he was before Ducard hands him a sword and tells him to kill a guy. Robert, it's really funny how their genius origin for why Hector Hammond has a big head is because Guardians have big heads. One of which is now Parallax. Oh, it didn't even occur to me that that's what they were doing.
Yes.
No, I guess that makes sense. Because he's something
Parallax
got
looks
the Guardian's DNA.
Just like him, yeah.
Oh, can I complain about something? I don't know if you guys will agree with this, but something Waller says irked me when I watched this afternoon. It just feels really lame, especially for not just a fantasy superhero movie, but the first in like what's supposed to be a grand DC shared universe. She says it proved to be his greatest strength. That sums up that sums up the genericness of this entire movie.
You might as well have just said of all the people to have held a Green Lantern ring, Hal was one.
Hal was one of them.
Then you just got the black.
He had tiny airplanes strapped to his back. Some of those shots, those planes, it doesn't look like a perspective thing to me. Those planes just look tiny.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, Austin, Amanda Waller has this line where she says, all of the alien stuff that people thought was true was just dumb conspiracy theories. But now we've actually found a real alien. I think that's so lame.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's so massively lame that you would just say, we finally have real first contact with aliens, and in this, like, high-concept comic book world, you've never had aliens on Earth before that.
Yeah.
That sucks. Yeah. Don't do that. If anything, say, oh, this proves that some of those probably happened.
Have Amanda Waller be like, you live in a world full of heroes or something.
Like very often we'll have like ancient myths and legends of course in comic book things, and we'll say oh look, they were all true, or there were some truths to it. Like, I think that's how you handle alien stuff. Now, she could be lying, but they don't play it like that.
No, exactly. Like somebody said earlier, it's also weird that she's like a scientist in this, or like that's how it's presented.
She's Dr. Waller.
Yeah.
So she's not even the head of like a covert government agency, but they gave her exactly her comic book backstory. It's kind of fascinating.
Except you also have to lose part of that because she's a doctor in this. Where in that, it's like that family stuff happens, and then she bluffs her way into the government.
Yeah.
Why is he Green Lantern?
He's still green.
So they can do that.
Yeah,
so he's
exactly.
Just always wearing that, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So
where is
what
he?
is Sinestro afraid of? And
being in a sequel,
like being in this movie,
being in a sequel. That is one of those kind of classic examples of the obligatory end credits or mid credits. You know, like that's Tails and Sonic.
Oh yeah.
Like you know what it's gonna be.
Yeah. But it's done terrible. Like it's done
He
the
doesn't
worst.
even seem to have the ideology to back it up.
No.
I honestly, watching it again with you guys, I'm not sure I even believe that Sinestro would suggest the yellow ring.
Right.
Like he seems so traditional and by the book. And the only thing he says besides like, hey, we've got to do something again, like, you know what, we're Green Lanterns, we're supposed to have the will, is at the end when he says that Hal Jordan is a lot like Abin Sur, in, like, you know, how impulsive and headstrong, and also one of the things he says is opinionated. Like, I mean, everybody has opinions. I don't know. But like, I get that that's a criticism of the people sometimes, but just it's weird that he has that, and like, oh, and you're opinionated. It's like, yeah, like, okay, but anyway, all I'm saying is, he is suggesting that sometimes, or maybe even often, as a Green Lantern, it's a good idea to leap before you look. But I don't buy the leap to then he puts on the yellow ring.
Right.
Mm-hmm. No, it also kind of reminds me of the Thanos "I'll do it myself"
Yes.
after credit scene, in that they both just exist in a void, and it's very awkward.
Oh,
And it's just next time, baby.
I still wish he'd said that. Nope, next time, baby. I also thought of, while I was watching this afternoon, this kind of thin, unexplored parallel that I wanted to mention to you guys, and see what you think of it, or see if you guys caught this. I there's this half baked thing. Let me see if I can remember this exactly, because it's barely in the movie, where um Sinestro says something to the Guardians about uh like wanting to prove that the Green Lantern's best days are not behind them. That like they're not obsolete anymore. And there's like nothing else really in the movie about that with the Green Lantern Corps. But he says that, and then the whole conflict at the beginning with the Air Force is about airplane pilots maybe being obsolete and being replaced by technology. And I'm like, you could have done something with that. Like it feels like an idea somebody had that was dropped in there, but then they didn't run with it at all. There's a lot of that in this movie.
Oh yeah.
But I found that very peculiar.
Even these credits are boring.
Well, and it's also interesting to see space movies and science fiction movies made just before Guardians, because that was so massively
Yeah.
influential. And this was, in its way, kind of, well, I was going to say, this was kind of like Guardians trying to do that blend of comedy and drama, but like not really. It's kind of more of just the traditional comic relief thing, but you got a comedic actor that wants to be funnier than the movie wants to be.
Yeah. And like, unlike Chris Pratt, he can't. I don't think he can really nail the dramatic moments.
Mm-hmm. You know, he just doesn't feel earnest to me.
Yeah, no, exactly. No, I didn't really think about this in the moment, but I guess what I was saying earlier about his dad would be similar to what you have with Peter Quill and his mom in Guardians.
Sure. Yeah, I didn't articulate this great earlier, but I feel like I just don't have much of a read on like why he is so paralyzed with fear and like why he quits everything. That just feels like a big question mark. Like it feels like kind of an arbitrary and like it could work if it came from a place, but it just feels like kind of an arbitrary uh prevailing character trait where it's like, okay, he wasn't too afraid because his dad died in a plane crash to go be a pilot, but like he quits on relationships because he's afraid to commit to things. Is he just afraid he's gonna die? Like he likes being a pilot so much he has to stay in that, but he won't commit to anything else because he's afraid he'll die. But then they make a point of his saying like, "You can't fire me, I quit." Like in the right situation, he'll even quit the Air Force. So it's not really about he'll leave anything else to be a pilot because that's all he's good at. Like he says that. We see what I mean? Like it doesn't add up to me.
I agree.
And I still
go read Green Lantern comics. We know we ruined it, but go read them.
Like it's nice they put that in there, I guess.
It makes it funnier though, because it's this movie.
Yeah, well, it just adds insult to injury. Because if you go read that stuff, you'll this is what the movie should have been. Okay.
Oh, this is that, but it doesn't suck.
I'll also say, and I'm a broken record because this is my favorite thing about Green Lantern, but if you're gonna have the yellow ring and like Parallax is feeding on fear and all of that, you're already opening up the spectrum. Mm-hmm. So just mention that there's more than the two.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with it not being mentioned here. That's like easy sequel material.
That's true. But is it odd?
But do that for the mid credits instead of the yellow ring. Like I don't know.
Well, I guess what's weird about it to me, Austin, is they talk about it like the Guardians only know about the one other color. So if you were going to open it up later, you would have to have an origin for the core, learning that there are other colors in the spectrum.
Yeah.
And
which is weird.
And it's like, would they have other cores that the Guardians don't know about, or would they start the cores through the course of this franchise? Like, that's weird. Because as far as I understand it, John's retroactively says that the spectrum just goes all the way back, and that like they know about all of them.
Yeah.
But I think doesn't Sinestro create the Sinestro core, like the yellow side of it?
Yeah.
So like I don't know, you maybe could have done something with that.
I guess that's true. I just want Red Lantern.
But that one's...
Although I don't want Red Lanterns in this because they'd ruin that. But
they would, yeah.
My question is though, who is the Ryan Reynolds equivalent for the other main human Green Lanterns that you would introduce in a sequel?
Would they all have to be like
badly miscast?
Like badly miscast comic actors?
Yes. Yeah.
You know? Okay, well, clearly one of them would have to be, what's his? Sorry, names are not coming to me right now. The guy that people always say I look like.
Seth Rogen.
Seth Rogen.
Oh,
yeah.
Seth Rogen.
So Seth
Rogen would be Guy Gardner.
Yeah, Seth Rogen is Guy Gardner.
And keep in mind, Seth Rogen
with a bowl cut.
Keep in mind, Seth Rogen made... That's a horrible middle image. Shh. Why did we invite Jason? I won't sleep tonight. No, he made Green Hornet either the year before or this very year. That movie comes out in 10
this
10
very
11.
year.
Is it 11?
Okay. I want to say it's 11, but I could be wrong.
I think that's 11, yeah.
That's what I thought. And
yeah.
I'm sad to say that's 2 steps up from this. Like that movie's not great. It's watchable. Like it ain't this. It has energy. Austin, someone wanted to be there.
Yeah.
And like Seth
then
Rogen
you would get
is not right for that, obviously. It's weird they made it a comedy, but their Kato was awesome. Like
yeah, and then Sam Jackson is Jon Stewart.
I was thinking Marlon Wayans.
I was gonna say no. You gotta go. You gotta go to a bad, or not a bad, but you gotta go to a comedic actor that's just not right for
Comedic
it.
actor that's just not right for it.
Marlon Wayans is a little old at that point. Or is he?
I don't know. It's 2 years. It's 2 years after he was in G.I. Joe. Like I feel like that's not too off. And then I don't know if you would know who this is, but I was thinking Jay Baruchel is Kyle.
I don't know who that is.
No, you get Jim Carrey as Kyle.
Oh God.
Yeah, I know.
He's definitely too old.
No, no, you can't say Jim Carrey. That's the obvious way. I was gonna say Steve Carell.
Oh no.
I love this universe we're crafting. Beautiful.
Okay, let's go now.
Connor has a good point. Kevin Hart as Jon Stewart is.
That's what I was trying to think of. Yes,
That's
Kevin
a
Hart.
better one. Yeah.
That is correct.
No.
You have a Jon Stewart that just constantly screams in a falsetto.
You have a really short Jon Stewart.
He's the exact opposite personality of Jon Stewart.
Though, if we got the Guy Gardner punch and he was doing the Seth Rogen laugh before he gets hit, that would be amazing.
Okay, let's go now to Patreon mini reviews. And I forgot to mention this at the beginning, but if you've not watched the show before, when we get to the end of the show, we read some of your reviews. If you want to join the $5 tier on Patreon, or if you want to put in a super chat with your 2 to 3 sentence review, and make sure that you put a ranking in. And Austin, remind everyone what our ranking system is.
Nemesis, villain, hero, superhero, legend.
I just want to see.
I don't know why I struggled with it. No, I got it.
Well done. So anyway, we're gonna read the reviews that came in on Patreon and Discord. And Austin, how many do you have, sir?
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Sorry, I'm refreshing mine. It looks like I've got 3. So you start, sir.
Oh, okay. From Super Billy, he says, a movie so painfully banal, not to mention visually hideous, that it manages to be more contemptible than, dare I say, objectively worse films, both in and outside the superhero genre. Aside from Mark Strong as Sinestro, Jeffrey Rush as Tomar Ray, and the late great Michael Clark Duncan as Kilowog, this movie has nothing good to offer. In fact, the film's a lot like Parallax, a giant sewage cloud that sucks out all enjoyment until you're nothing but a desiccated husk raiding nemesis.
I almost want to slow clap that. That was wonderful.
It's filled with pure venom.
Excellent word choice. Okay, Bag Studios, with a terrible script and an overproduced blandness of early 2010s blockbusterisms. I have to admit a certain level of guilty pleasure with this. Oh, Bag. I was 11 when this came out, and the CGI suit never stood out to me. Really? Nor did the big cloud of doom that now rings hollow. Reynolds manages to sell enough of that I've never hated this as much as the average person seems to, but it ain't good. It ain't too good neither. Villain for the sake of the rating, but I really think it's a citizen, or maybe more aptly collateral damage. I like that as a rating. I like collateral damage.
That's a good one.
That's pretty good.
From Connor Nielsen.
Real quick, can I ask you this?
Yeah.
This is a question I wanted to ask you earlier and I forgot to do it. Do you think, and I think I know what your answer is going to be, this was supposed to be the start, again, of a full-on shared universe. Was it in any way salvageable?
No, I think this film is to DC what Dracula Untold was to the Dark Universe. I think it's just completely dead on arrival. Just cut your losses.
Oh, see, I put that in the description, but I thought it was The Mummy that did that.
The Mummy's the actual start, but they made Dracula Untold first, and they were like, part of our universe. Oh, it didn't do well. Okay, never mind.
Okay.
The Mummy's the real start.
But then
It
was
is like
also dead
the
on
Green
arrival.
Lantern to the Mummy's Man of Steel.
Okay.
In that sense.
Yeah, but Man of Steel kept going. Like, didn't they just not make any more even after the Mummy?
I just meant like in terms of like it was supposed to be the first one, failed, then we made a first one. That's all I mean.
I understand. Well, I don't know that
Yeah.
history like you do. Like, I've not seen either of those movies, so this was me asking. I just didn't even really understand it. Daniel Davis.
Yeah, no, of course.
Is it my turn?
No.
Go ahead.
From Connor Nielsen.
Oh yes.
Green Lantern does everything in its power to earn its enduring status as a pop culture punchline. Years later, it continues to live up to its reputation. Rating Nemesis.
Nice and concise there, Connor. Daniel Davis, behold my most disappointing theatrical experience. Green Lantern, I gotta tell you guys a story here in a second. Green Lantern is a terrible attempt at replicating Iron Man's success. It doesn't understand the property it's adapting. It's not all that particularly exciting, and it's a storytelling mess with a lot of garbled CGI. Worst of all, though, is what it did to the brand. Because of this movie, and we've not talked enough about that, Green Lantern became a joke. It made me so angry I wanted to blast it out of existence with a red power ring. Nemesis times 3, Parallax resembling a diarrhea monster is basically the perfect encapsulation of this film. We have now had 2 mini reviews that used Parallax as a metaphor for the film.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's deep.
So if you weren't paying attention to comics or the few comic and toy YouTube channels at the time, you might not realize just how dedicated of a fan base there was for Green Lantern at this time. When I first got on YouTube, I could not get away from Green Lantern content, and I was not a Green Lantern guy. I had not been reading the Jeff Johns stuff, and I read Blackest Night in 2010 when I got into Current, and I went, "Oh, this is really good." Now I'm kind of curious about Green Lantern, and there was just this diehard base for it that that wanted to be, of course, really excited about this movie, and if it had been great, it should have been like a new Star Trek or something, where you've got this relatively small but like really diehard dedicated base for a science fiction property with this big sprawling lore and mythology. And when this was first announced, I really kind of thought that was going to happen. Because I didn't think there was any chance that it looked like this, and that it was like so phoned in and like everything else you'd ever seen before.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to mention that real quick because it's easy to forget just how huge this was at one time. And like, there's still obviously like dedicated Green Lantern fans, but it's never been what it was.
Well, this and Jonah Hex have that because that's also building off the Palmiotti run, which was super popular, and like Green Lantern, it's never really recovered.
Yeah, that's true. And I've never done anything on Jonah Hex. Like, I didn't do a written review back in the day. I don't have a commentary on it. I've seen it one time.
Yeah, I've only ever seen it once when it came out. Part of me wants to go back to that movie just because I really like that run and I've read it now. But at the same time, I'm like, oh, then I'm gonna be mad.
It's gonna hurt.
Sure. Yeah.
We should put a little bit of distance between this and that, but we might want to put that on the relative short list because it'll be interesting.
Yeah, no, that'd be fun. Probably not though.
That might not be the word, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Serial and Pigs Fly, worst movie ever made, Nemesis.
Nothing about how the cloud encapsulates the experience. No.
No.
Since you've got 5, why don't you read one more before I do my last one?
Okay, perfect. That lines up exactly how I want to end on my side.
Oh, good.
Grimm. I got a perfect one to end on. Grimm, a mostly forgettable movie that loses any sense of authenticity by following the comedic tone trend set by Iron Man in the MCU. It also has one of the worst tie-in roller coasters of all time.
Oh, wow.
That sucks.
No, the best thing you can say about this movie is it had a really good toy line.
I hope that ride was just that the car track.
That would be really boring.
Like this movie.
That's why it's the worst ride of all time.
Killer Moth Returns, I really loved. Oh, he brought up the toys. I shouldn't have said that. I really loved the toys for this movie. So many neat aliens, and I had most of them. It was extensive, and they stayed on the shelves forever, man. That was an eternal situation where you could not get away from those. Unfortunately, the Parallax Build-A-Figure looked like a massive yellow defecation with an ugly head at the end of it. The toy perfectly represents this movie. Villain. Oh, I really wish we were 8 for 8 on that, but we've got 3 of them now. I'm gonna count that.
I'm looking this up. Parallax Build-A-Figure. Let's see how bad this looks.
Yeah, how bad is it? Here, I'll put it on the screen. I'll find it too.
Oh no!
I'll find it too.
It's not good. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's super what I would think of as this version of Parallax. It's not good.
Sorry, guys. I forgot to set up the screen share this time. Let me find this real quick. Oh, sorry. It's still a black screen, and it will remain a black screen. I don't know what's happening here. Hang on.
Black Lanterns.
There it is. Look at that. Look at that thing. Somebody actually got them all and put that together. That is disgusting.
Somebody actually built it.
But you know, Austin, it's interesting to note that you've got that kind of, in its way, like, gross abomination look, and then it's not too many years after this that we do that Doomsday in BVS.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you think the guy that created that Build-A-Figure lives in fear of his creation just like God?
If so, he's like the perfect guy for the Sinestro Corps.
I mean, he's more scared than Sinestro.
Yeah. He'll.
That's true.
And I don't think he would get too unafraid to not still have a lot of power in his ring after making that thing.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree.
Nightmare Room says that black screen was a more accurate Parallax.
That perfectly encapsulates this movie.
So good. I can't believe everybody did it. Okay, it's time now to go to our rankings.
I got one more.
I'm sorry, it's not time to do that.
It's okay.
It's time for me to stop stepping all over Austin. Go ahead, sir.
I'm going to see if I can make this work. Okay. So Josh just said Nemesis and then sent this.
Yes! No way. No way.
No way.
Which is just a perfect review.
Josh, I'm very proud of you, man. That was really good.
Actually, hold on. Let me get this a little better. I can. Nemesis. There you go.
Whoa, this is a nemesis.
Whoa, that big cloud monster is just like the film. It's representative.
It looks just like the chili dog I had last night. Anyway,
look at all those Eggman robots.
It's now time for our ranking, and this might be a kind of a hyperbolic, for lack of a better way to put it, Austin, recency bias on my part. I have this really low right now. Just because it's not an interesting failure, and it's so frustrating that it's as bad and nothing given like what it is. I think I'm also, let me say this too. I think I'm more irritated with this than some other movies, because if this had worked out, we wouldn't have had the DCEU. It's like I kind of blame Green Lantern for the DCEU. Because how hard is it? I mean, like, I'm not saying it's an easy movie to make. I'm saying how hard is it to make it good enough that we would keep making them?
Yeah, but imagine that universe, though.
No, I mean, I'm not saying I wanted more of that. I'm saying you couldn't have made a decent enough movie.
Sure, but Man of Steel is better than anything that movie could have been. I don't know. I feel like I don't like the DCEU at all, but I don't think that universe would have been any better.
But I'm talking about at the conceptual level. I'm saying hire the right people and make a good Green Lantern movie. That's all I'm saying.
Sure.
And so like it's not entirely fair, but I've got a little bit more bias like because of that. I think like it ticks me off a little bit more. And I've rarely seen a movie that is this miscast. Like the cast is usually not the problem.
Right.
And here it's like misfiring on all cylinders. And it's just like bizarre and wild that it works out that way. So scrolling all the way down.
It's a movie so bad that it took the guy that wrote Hal saying I don't even know what will means to fix Green Lantern.
I've got it right now third to last. I've got
so
it.
You're giving it a nemesis.
Yes. I mean, I'll just say that straight up. Yes.
I think we can probably all agree.
We usually rate first, don't we? I'm not even doing my. I've forgotten how to do the show because of this movie. Sorry, what am I doing? We always. It
was just such a given.
Yeah, that's not why I did that. I just forgot what order we do things in. I'm sorry, Austin. Yes,
no, you're good.
I am giving this a nemesis. It's pretty clear.
This ranking is interesting.
Yeah, I want to move some things around at some point.
Masters of the Universe is not that bad.
I've got this just below Masters of the Universe. And then just above that, I've got X-Men Origins.
Yeah, Masters of the Universe is way better than Origins.
I don't agree with that.
Yeah, that's true.
But wait, which one? Who are you agreeing with?
The Masters of the Universe is better than X-Men Origins.
Oh wow, okay.
And it's better than Doomsday. Spawn's better.
Yes.
Yeah.
Austin, are you giving this film a nemesis?
I'm gonna give this movie a legend because it was really fun. No, yeah, it's a legend. I almost messed up and actually said legend. No, it's nemesis.
Okay, let's see where you've got it ranked. We're scrolling down, and Austin has. Oh, I still haven't found it. Okay, he has Green Lantern a little higher than I do. He has it just above.
Only by a little bit.
Rise of the Silver Surfer, which I'm surprised by.
Oh wow.
They're pretty comparable.
And they are comparable, but I still think this is a harder movie to sit through. Although, again, recency bias, and by recency I just mean I just watched it. They're both the worst thing ever as I'm watching them, and so I don't know. Like I almost feel like I would need a year's distance from both of them, and then go like which one just irritates me more. But like actually watching, I think if I watched them in rapid succession, just whichever the last one was I watched.
That's interesting.
Probably.
I mean, Green Lantern gave me an evil cloud man that was like horrifically eating people at the end of this movie, which is more than I can say about Rise of the Silver Surfer, I guess. Climax of that movie is just Dr. Doom flying around like a goon.
Yeah, I mean, Rise of the Silver Surfer at least has the Human Torch chase. Like,
that
there's
is true.
Something fun in it that for at least a couple of minutes I feel like I'm watching like a movie.
Am I the only person that likes Rise of the Silver Surfer?
Yes.
Watch it again. I'd love to know if that's still the case.
Maybe it's because I hate the first Fantastic Four so much.
We both landed on its. Well, you've actually got it just above the first one on your ranking, but I remembered when we reviewed it, we both kind of decided it was worse.
No. I think they're about on par.
Oh, okay.
But I think Rise of the Silver Surfer is a little better, just because Silver Surfer is way better than anything in the first movie.
It's way better.
Same as that Human Torch.
Well, I
chase
didn't mean
scene.
to put words in your mouth, and I don't remember what I said
No,
either.
okay.
But that's what I was remembering is that's what we both said. But
no, my big takeaway was, it's better. It actually has a story.
Well, sure. Well, and I went into that review thinking that's what I was going to say, and then as we were watching it, I was like, God, this is hard to sit through. But
yeah, and like, I don't know. My thing is these last couple ones are so interchangeable.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, it could be lower than Tim Story's FF, but I also like have much more personal attachment to being annoyed by Tim Story's FF. Whereas this, I watched it as an adult, and I'm like, that's bad. Anyways.
Yeah, and I will admit to liking the FF movies more when they came out, and so like there was a period of time where those were like inoffensive and just okay to me. And I never had that with Green Lantern. Like, I disliked it from the beginning. Oh, and I was going to tell you guys, that is the one superhero movie that I have seen in the theater with my father-in-law for some reason. I don't know why we went to that together.
Was it just the two of you?
Yeah. Like, I think what happened was I think he was in town, and I needed to see it. You know what? We must have reviewed it, because I think I went for review. And I was like, I need to go see this weekend. And he didn't have anything going on, and everybody was going to bed, and I was gonna go late, and I was like, I'm going to see this movie. Do you want to come with me? And I'm pretty sure it wasn't a second viewing. I'm pretty sure I didn't know how it was gonna be, and that we both walked out just looking at each other, going, "Well, that was a waste of goddamn time." And he doesn't even know anything about Green Lantern. But we were both just like, that was boring. And Sarah's dad, like, all due respect, not the most critical person in the world.
No.
So, like, you know, it could have been not great, and he might have still enjoyed it. That's how bad that movie is. Like, there's nothing to latch on to.
He was like, before I give you my blessing to marry my daughter, I need to see what you do for a living. And you took him to see Green Lantern. And he was like, by God, this man's the bravest man on the planet. This is what he does for a living.
That's hilarious. You know, we might have left the theater and he might have been thinking that. Or it might have been, this is what my son-in-law is wasting his life with.
A little bit of both.
Josh, $2 super chat. Watching Green Lantern is like taking medicine. Medicine that makes you worse.
I think there was also another super chat before that too.
Okay, I'll grab that in a second. Hey, Jason, give everybody your food metaphor.
God, what was my food metaphor?
It's about onions.
Oh, yeah. Watching this movie is like looking at onions. It makes me cry because it's so bad to look at.
Brilliant. You're going to say it's like an onion. It's got layers. No, watching this is like just eating.
It has
watching this movie is like eating an onion like an apple. Just everything about it is pure ass.
Austin, I'm not seeing another super chat that we haven't done. Is it?
Did you read Robert's?
No.
Yeah.
$5 super chat. It took me so long to find it. I'm sorry I missed it, Robert.
That's all good.
I was hyped for this movie and wanted to like it more than I did, but like Superman Returns, I rewatched this only once on DVD and never went back to it. Yeah, I've got the stripped down bare bones DVD. I was really hoping for a director commentary, and then I was like, of course that guy wasn't going to do a commentary on this.
No.
Now, what's unfortunate is that he also, if I'm right about this, directed the Zorro sequel, which is also lambasted and notorious and hated. And so he's made 2 apparently really bad superhero movies, even though he made a movie that we put right at the top of our list. And I've never seen that. What is it, Mask of Zorro? No, Legend of Zorro. Mask is the good one. But yeah, he made that too. I've got Mask of Zorro at 6 on my list. No, you got it at 6 on your list. I've got it at 5, so we have it really close together. And then Green Lantern right at the bottom. So like, I don't know if there's another director like this, like for superhero or otherwise, where like it's the perfect like Robert Seinfeld flip boxes.
Yeah.
The red and the green.
Well, and the poster for Mask of Zorro was also like partly red.
That is true. RJ Godzilla, I couldn't even get past the first 10 minutes of the Zorro sequel. Oh my god. The Universe Legend of Zorro is bad, but it does have some great practical effects.
And that tracks.
Then why doesn't this have any?
Well, this is, to be fair, this is one of the situations, I believe, where there's quite a bit of work, like, already done on it before he comes in. So, I mean, some of those choices were already made for him.
Yeah.
I believe.
Green Lantern's also hard to do, like, practically. Like, there's only so much you can do. But, like, this movie could have done more.
Yeah, like, in
like, it is going to be a CGI fest.
Yeah, in their defense, a lot of that was certainly going to have to be CG. And, you know, I think the best Green Lantern movie you could make is animated, but you're trying to do a shared universe, and like Guardians is a lot of cosmic stuff. There's a decent amount of CG in that. It's pretty well integrated. Most of it looks really good.
Yeah.
Like it can be.
Guardians 2 even has better constructs in the end climax.
So that's true. That's true. I didn't think about it like that. So the first question you got to ask yourself if you're going to adapt Green Lantern is, do you animate the suits like they did? And I'm going to say no. I think you're going to convince us all that you're going to convince us that more of it is real if at least what they're wearing is practical.
Yeah, 100%. No, and like just that is even kind of dicey amongst Green Lantern fans. Like, you know, just do you have like a practical suit that is a suit, or is it something that he just has because of the ring? Yeah.
And like I may be okay with it having, you know, some lights in it so it glows and stuff, but like you can do all that practically.
No, for sure. And I mean, I think the suit itself looks fine. It's just the mask.
See, there's a lot of I don't agree with that. There's places where the suit looks really weird to me. Like there's places where I feel like I said, the head is almost like floating on top of the body. Like I don't even buy that it's connected to the rest of it sometimes.
Oh no, I agree with that. I just mean like I feel like just the suit itself is fine.
Okay, yeah,
like
sure.
yeah, everything and how it's
I
connected.
that,
And like I said, the mask is the worst part, but
yeah. I like
so
the suit looks like I can phase through it. Like
that's light. It's made of light. So Jason, what is your
rating? I
rate
this a nemesis, and the best thing that came out of this movie is the animated series that was kind of made to promote this movie, but
then it only gets one season.
But the worst thing about this movie is that it made that only get one season because it sucks. So, like, that animated series is what made me love Green Lantern, and is one of the greatest television shows of all time. But this is the worst movie of all time, so you know it evens itself out.
When we were doing Lantern,
and that's Bruce Timm, and that's before this new Batman show. That's the only DC animated series he did that's not in his continuity.
Oh yeah, that's true. No, when we were doing Lanterns, because we get like cut off for like a little bit with like we had technical issues.
Yeah.
And it was just Robert and I talking for a little bit, and he was talking about that show, and it was really funny. He was like, "Oh, I like that show, but there's not enough Earth in it, and I keep wanting them to go back to Earth, and then Hell finally does, and immediately leaves." That was just funny.
Yeah. No, that's why I don't.
It's very Star Trek in that way.
That's why I don't like Green Lantern on Earth, because I grew up with that show. So, you know, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. And like it's valid both ways. Like I'm always more interested in the space cop stuff.
Yeah.
But I do think that's a fair criticism of that show. Like I do think it could have maybe not been half and half, but at least had a couple of like good solid Earth episodes.
Jump around. But it's harder because it's 3D animated.
Oh, Tyler says
So it's like
Bruce Timm worked on Justice League Action. I forgot about that.
I didn't know that.
If he worked on that, then that would be probably the only other example.
Well, and I guess Cape Crusader.
Well, I said before that.
Oh, sorry, I missed that.
I said besides that new Batman show. Like before that. But anyway.
That's the new Batman show.
Austin, would you kindly let everybody know what we're doing next time? We took a poll, which we haven't done in a little while. So thanks to the Rewind producers for voting in the poll. And we're going to be back in 2 weeks with what film?
RoboCop 2.
Wow, you sound so excited about that.
Yes.
Hey,
I don't know. People love RoboCop 2. I don't, but it's fine.
It's going to be better than this.
It will be better than this, yeah.
Well, I don't think people should expect you and I to fight real hard about RoboCop 2. I'm also not in love with that. And it's harder to enjoy even after you know what Frank Miller was, what his initial script was. Because I've read those comics and there's some really good stuff in that. It's really sad that it got as watered down as it did.
I mean, there's also good stuff in RoboCop 2. It's just, it becomes a different movie every 5 minutes.
Yeah. And I broke all that down in a written rewind I did a few years ago. I don't actually even know if I'll reread that in preparation this time. I almost want to go without it and take the movie a little bit more on its own terms. I mean, obviously I want to do that as best as I can anyway, but like to get some distance away from that material and not really think about it this time when we review it, I think that might be the way to go. Just because I've already done that exercise.
Yeah.
It might be cool to just, instead of constantly comparing it, to just go, okay, let's just take the movie as it is. Let's pretend like we don't know anything about the original script.
And I've never read that comic. I have it, but I've not read it yet.
It's very bloody.
That makes sense.
It's like crazy bloody. It's like kick-ass bloody. It's more than kick-ass bloody.
I will say though, I don't like that movie, but the new RoboCop game has a lot of love for 2, and I found that like a little endearing. Where I'm like, oh, okay, like I appreciate this more for that, I guess. But yeah.
Well, I might finally get a PS5 at the end of the year, and then I'll get RoboCop and finally play that. Maybe both of them, because there's another one now.
Look forward to the RoboCop stream where Cap's like missing everyone.
Yeah. The question is always, who's more of the sucker, me or you guys watching it for all the time of yours that I'm wasting?
All these peasants, I mean, ultimate humans that watch us. I agree.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm glad you said that. Anyway, thanks as always for watching, folks. We really appreciate all the viewership. Thanks for folks that left super chats tonight. And if you'd like to become a Patreon producer and help us pick movies for the show and hang out with us in Discord and have your name read at the end of each show, you can become a $10 patron. And we're going to read all of those names now. So thanks to all of our patrons, but especially these folks. You want to help me out, Jason?
Sure.
You want to read some of the names?
I sure will.
Okay, we'll go back and forth. Go ahead.
All right. Thanks to Jesse Surtees
and Joe Gira
and Back Studios
and Victor
and Super Billy
and Dr. Hello
and Goofster 1, 2, 3.
Right, and also Joe
and Matthew Brody
and don't forget Abik Stark
and also Kareem Roberts
and Dimitri J
and Damon Bagay.
Hey, that sort of rhymed. And there's also Adam March
and Invisipiggy.
I don't know why Invisipig added the Y at the end now. It used to be Invisipig, now it's Invisipiggy. I don't know why that is. There's also our good friend who's been to the house.
Yeah.
Hot Soup.
Yes.
But
also Michael Martin.
Right. And Vic Blofeld.
And Kate Blaise.
And Alfonso. Now, I've met her in person, but she's not been to the house.
No.
Kate.
She hasn't.
Kate.
I've met her.
And that's how you rank patrons.
Yeah, if they've been to the house or not.
Right. Yeah. Well, she's local.
Yeah.
She's in my writers group.
No, I know.
That's why she's on this list. Is it my turn?
It sure
Oh,
is.
Alfonso Diaz!
Yeah, and the Captain Coon.
And finally, Killer Moth returns! Exclamation point. Well, Austin, do you have any brilliant last words about Green Lantern?
I wish I could throw it into the sun.
There's some other bad movies you've never seen that I'm curious to see how they'll rank up for you against Green Lantern, like Catwoman.
He's never seen Catwoman? I've never seen Catwoman.
No, I've never seen Catwoman.
Maybe we should...
Oh, that's going on the short list.
Oh, man. Maybe I'll be on that.
You should come in on that.
Also, Nightmare Room, he just said, I don't interact a lot, but I'm a giant fan of you guys. Had a blast tonight. Thank you. Genuinely one of my favorite YouTube channels.
Oh, thanks,
thank
man.
you.
Yeah, I'm glad you read that, Austin. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
Well, we will see you
Good
again.
night, everybody.
We'll see you guys again in a couple of weeks. Jason and I will be back for some things next week. We'll have a little bit of a stripped down week. I've got a writer's meeting on Friday that I've got to prep for. And then and Austin's not going to be around next Friday. But then after that, we'll come back and do RoboCop 2. And in the meantime, I
might try to be on that stream too.
Yeah. Have you ever seen that?
I have never seen that. And I'm a big RoboCop fan, so... Yeah.
RoboCop is a great movie. Like I said, there's good stuff in RoboCop too. Okay. We'll get there.
I think we will all probably be a little bit higher on it after having to do this.
Yeah, totally. Robert says Catwoman needs a big panel, and I think I think I know what he means by that. He's gonna be on that.
He's asking to come in. If Robert wants to be on for Catwoman, I'm not gonna say no to that.
Can we do it live while playing basketball?
That'd be good. Absolutely. I thought you were going to say, can we do it live while applying cosmetic products?
We could do that too, like between breaks.
Both?
Both.
Yeah, like you take a shot, apply some cream, dribble around.
No.
I don't know.
Good to see everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us. I was Captain Logan. This was Jason.
That was me.
And Austin the Day Ghost.
Yeah.
Good night, everybody.
You know what this movie caused me? Rage.
I just want
That's why I'm a Red Lantern.
See, I just wish there was a sequel because I want to see what Dexter looks like.
In that animation?
Yes.
That would be amazing. We're actually leaving. Bye everybody.